Oh, that boy's rocking a can ring.
Oh, yeah. Rocking a can, baby.
What's going on with that, man?
You know, I recently was very, very sick.
He's on his deathbed, people.
Fucking deathbed. You probably hear it in my voice still a little bit. But, yeah, I was recently very sick and couldn't vape. And now I feel like, fuck it, man. I haven't vaped in like 2 weeks. May as well just fucking try and quit. I don't know. I'm not keeping any promises on that, though.
Come on, man.
I'm going to try to, like,
there is no better
lose
time.
weight and, like, eat better and do stuff like that. But
there's no better time in your life to stop than right now.
I like that,
There's
actually.
no better time.
I hope you're right.
That's what I tell myself every time that I try to start a diet or start exercising again. I fucking stop after like a week.
Yeah. It's tough, bro. It's tough.
It's not easy.
I mean, again, I'm going to take it super slow, though. I'm not trying to fucking New Year's resolution. I'm going to the gym every fucking day.
No.
I'm eating I'm going full keto. Like, it's just, you do that, you burn yourself out, man.
You got to start real slow.
At least I do.
You got to start real slow.
Yeah, so I'm starting real slow. Out of the camera angle, there's a treadmill and a fucking, what would you call that, a Smith machine?
No.
Or is that like an at-home, all-in-one?
No, it's like an at-home. It's not really like a specific name for it, but it's a machine where you could get a good chest workout and back workout.
Yeah.
Which is really, dude, I mean.
It does legs and, yeah, it's a.
Yeah, but
yeah.
come on, man.
Yeah, I'm going to get kettlebells and just like do squats or something. But, yeah, I mean, ease myself into it for sure.
Don't, dude, the worst thing you can do is kill yourself and be miserable and then get hurt. And then fucking be done for a month. So trust me.
Yeah, that happened. That happened to me. I mean, it was a while ago, but like 2018, I came home from Texas.
Yeah.
And I was like heavy. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like in Texas was the same thing. I was still welding, right? I was still like, doing physical stuff. But in Texas, when you're a welder, you're a welder. It ain't like here for the companies I've worked for, where it's like, oh, you are a bitch. You do every fucking thing. If you're not welding, you're fucking digging a hole.
So you were sitting welding a little bit more.
I literally did only welding.
Yeah.
Every like place I worked, I had a welder helper. So I didn't even like clean up my own shit or like drag my own fucking leads or nothing.
That's nice.
Like I loved it. I fucking loved it. And the last company I worked for in Texas, I had this little helper. His name was Rashad. He was a young POC boy. Person of color. And he was fantastic, though, dude. He was fantastic. This kid was, like, more of a cowboy than me and you will ever be. Yeah. Like, he would literally show up with cow shit on his boots, like, from fucking throwing hay first thing in the morning before coming to work. Why? I don't know. He lived on a ranch.
Oh, God.
But he was cool. Like, he was, like, all about it. So, like, it actually is, like, exciting to, like, share something with a kid who's like, I really want to learn this. Like, I want to know everything you're willing to teach me. You know what I mean? It's like, it's nice,
Yeah, it could be annoying.
He was cool about it, though.
Yeah.
He was all right. I mean, dude, he was on it, too. Like, as soon as I got done making a weld, he'd run over there and, like, hit it with the fucking grinder. And
what type of person of color was he? They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes and colors.
He was your standard POC, for sure. Full-blooded American.
I'm guessing
POC.
for Texas, was he Hispanic?
No, he's a black kid.
Okay, well then, like, elaborate.
Hold on.
I don't fucking know.
Now hold on. I thought the distinction of POC was specifically for.
It's not just for black people. It's for anyone who's not white. You can say I'm a person of color. Technically speaking, I could probably make the stretch that I am a person of color. Technically, you really could. You're more red than white,
Dude, I have 2% African heritage.
That's huge.
2% African blood pumping.
Did you get it where it counts,
these
though?
veins.
That's
Absolutely
the real
not.
Yeah, well.
Absolutely
that's
not.
the Irish in you.
I did, yeah.
Stomp that out real quick.
The curse of the Irish. Yes, and as a matter of fact, I got all the negatives that came along with it late, too. Because I did like a Ancestry.com thing. So, like, you have to, like, wait for the results. So as soon as my phone hit the results and I checked it, I got like credit Sesame alert that my credit score dropped like 50 points right away.
It's hard, man. It's hard. It's like going through life on like hard difficulty, you know. It's like the South Park game that changes your skin color based on the difficulty you choose.
I mean, is it though? I don't know.
That's what they really try to make it out to be.
I feel like
I think we actually did talk about this last episode, too.
We talked a lot about race last episode.
We talked a lot about race. It's fun. It's a funny subject, though.
I just feel like, man, like there's a lot of if you're gonna be a black person living in America right now is the time you'd want that to be.
Yeah.
'Cause there's no doubt that it's been pretty shitty for people of color.
I'd say till like the 90s. I feel like black people took over by storm in the 90s.
Definitely culturally.
Yeah, it was huge.
For sure.
It still is.
I mean, even before that, really. I just don't think it was like there was still like the undertone, you know.
Like, dude, you watch like any show or movie or anything that took like had the 50s to 60s or 70s era. And like
shit wasn't great.
Well, no, it's not. It wasn't great for them, but people were listening to black music. That's the one thing that always really confused me too. Is like you fucking watch The Sopranos. Anytime Tony has a flashback, right? It's going back to when he was a child in like the 50s and 60s. Like that's all you hear is like the old school black music.
Yeah.
I'm dropping on names. Otis, whatever his name is.
Yeah, you had like
something.
The Temptations.
Yeah, there you go.
And all the other.
Don't know.
I don't know.
Earth,
I always
Wind,
feel
Fire
like it was
fits
like
into that. Those might have been the 80s.
Yeah, I feel like it was always like something like Willie and the Gang or something. You know what I mean? Or like in the Malicious Gang. Or something.
Yeah, they all had a similar name to an extent. Yeah, but yeah,
but super popular.
Yeah,
super popular in culture, but like again in the 50s, not great. 60s, not great.
Especially in Birmingham, Alabama.
70s, yeah, fuck. Well, Shane Gillis has a great joke about that, too. He's like, basically saying, like, Alabama was, like, the last state to integrate, and it wasn't official until, like, the 70s or something. It was
all Bear Bryant.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Well, and then that was his point was, like,
football overcomes racism.
He's like, the whole joke basically was set up as, like, it finally took the most racist state in America to finally accept like blacks in schools and integrating when they found out they were super good at football, And he's like, so if these trans can just, set up a hard-nosed team, like
run it up the
they'll
middle.
Sway the Southerners. Those are actually some tough bitches, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
I do not see that.
No, I don't see that happening.
Well, I mean, if any... Maybe they could, dude. Maybe they could. Maybe they could have a trans league. I doubt it would be successful. I doubt a lot of people would watch it. But it's kind of like women's sports.
I think women's football should be a real thing. I know they have that lingerie league, but that's kind of like it's not really meant to be serious. That's
like
just,
the powder puff, or not the powder puff game, but
I mean, don't get me wrong. They play fucking. It's legit.
They're
football.
rough.
They beat the shit out of each other.
And they have like no protection on.
They have none.
They're like getting slammed into the grass.
Yeah,
yeah. And actually, I mean, you could argue that it's a little tougher.
That's kind of the joke about it, though. Is like, why are they doing it in bikinis? Like, is it they're really trying to sell it that hard to get guys to watch? Like, I don't know. It's just strange.
I mean,
I feel like girls football could be very entertaining. I watch girls basketball and I have a fucking time just laughing my ass off.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Great.
It's pretty bad.
It's so funny. I'm not kidding. Go watch like a fucking high school girls basketball game. It's so fucking terrible that it's just entertaining.
We should go watch a fucking Tarpons game.
That'd be all about
a lady Tarpons.
Let's broadcast it.
Oh, live from this fucking
number 12.
Side,
she looks like a fucking idiot. Oh, missed the fucking point blank layup. Oh, she gets the rebound. She missed it again. If
they, for whatever dumb reason, let us do it once, we'd never do it again.
Dude, they can't get people involved in that shit. They'd probably we could come to them, especially my reputation over there being a JV football coach.
You'd ruin it real quick, dude, once they watched it. Well, these guys are assholes.
They're making fun of the girls. There'd be like 30,000 people watching. Oh, maybe we should.
I don't know. Women's sports just eludes me, man. Like, but okay, so like a good example is the Tyson fight.
Yeah.
Everybody talked about the women boxing fight.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was like the best fight of the night, basically. So it's like there are, and I honestly, I don't get it. Like, I can't watch two women beat each other up. There's something I like, it doesn't feel right. Like, I'm not like don't get me wrong, dude. I'm not a knight in shining armor. Like, I will protect any woman I see. Like, I don't fucking care. But, like, it just, I don't know. It feels weird. Like, I just can't get into it.
I
like
used to kind of think like that, man. Then you watch, like, MMA, and you're like, okay. That gets you over that real quick because they just beat the fuck. And it's really strange because, like...
But that's what I'm saying. When one starts, like, bleeding really bad and shit, it's like, come on, get her out of there. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to me, man. I
They're
can't.
making money doing it. Who gives a fuck?
Good for them.
My thing is like, I feel like that's... And it's so strange because fighting takes such great hand-eye coordination and, like, technical skills and just, like, mastering... like that craft. But like, why is the WNBA so bad? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are women fighters able to be so good at fighting, but like women's basketball players just aren't that fucking
really
good?
bad. Like, even pro though.
There's a couple in the WNBA that are legit, but
say
it's
Caitlin Clark.
Few and
Let
far.
me hear you fucking say
few
it.
and far between.
I'm so sick of hearing about her, dude.
I mean,
athlete of the year.
She's the great white hope for the WNBA.
She's the
dude.
great white hope. I know that's gotta piss black chicks
Oh,
off.
it does.
Like,
It does.
Come on.
It does, especially all the attention that she gets, and they claim it's just because she's white. She's a good baller. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
And she brings attention to the sport. That's the other thing that I don't get. It's like,
even women's soccer is kind of a shit show, and they pushed it so hard with the last World Cup. No, hold on. Women do not compete in the World Cup. That was the Olympics.
Yes,
right?
the Olympics.
Okay. Sorry for any soccer fans that might get
your sports fucking
extremely irritated. I like soccer. I played some soccer in high school.
I bet you did.
I did. It was fun. It was cool. You
play
know,
goalie?
I played defender, left, right, middle, whatever. It didn't.
Yeah, no.
They
fuck
switch
that.
you around.
That's way too much running.
Defender's the least amount of running because you can
Is
only
it really?
run, because you can only run from the actual like goalie box. You know what I'm saying? Like the big square.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to be in that square unless another person from the opposite team is in that square.
Interesting.
And then the halfway mark. You're not allowed to go past the halfway mark.
Interesting.
So even if the strikers are down at the other end,
you just stole the ball.
basically, you just slide tackle, try to trip up the strikers, which is like a lot of people get it twisted because like they think the defenders, since they run the least, that they're like, oh well, you know, they're not that athletic, but you're chasing the fastest fucking guys they have on the other team.
As a spectator, man, it's just so hard. And this is coming from someone who never played. Like, it's just so hard to watch.
I can't watch soccer.
There's cool, like, probably 20 to 30 second bursts.
Yeah, clips.
Yeah.
For sure.
But, like, the other 2 hours of them just running around the fucking field, it's just terrible.
It's rough. And dude, the world fucking loves that game.
Yeah.
So good for you because I don't know how they watch it. That or cricket. Have you ever sat down and actually
Jesus
tried
Christ.
to watch cricket?
Yeah, it's very weird.
It is the weird. None of it makes any fucking sense, and it is the most boring fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
You seen the South Park Sarcastaball thing?
No, is it
That's
like
what
a
it just
spoof?
seems like a made up. No, it's making fun of football and like how it's become pussified, but like it's confusing to watch the episode because you literally don't know what the fuck's. None of it's supposed to make sense. That's what cricket is to me. It's like this is just gibberish. Like
It's gibberish.
What
Yeah.
are they doing?
Yeah, I don't know. It if you could compare it to anything, obviously it's closest to baseball, but it's nothing like baseball.
No, the rules are completely
you know,
different.
what the fuck?
It's just a pitcher and a fucking hitter. That's
Now, the only foreign sport I could ever maybe get into is rugby.
Yeah,
rugby
rugby's
is
dead. Yeah.
definitely
well,
interesting.
it's simple.
It's simple, and it's definitely interesting, and it's fucking
I-
dude. No pads, no helmets, no pads.
Yeah.
Those dudes are CTE crazy.
Yeah.
Those dudes are slamming like when they line
It's-
up like that and they slam into each other like they're like head on head.
It's tough. People always try to compare it to American football.
It's comparable.
It is comparable, but it's different at the same time. But
There's
the
no
guys who play
rules about
football-
how hard they can hit each other and shit, though. Like, there's literally, with all the
Yeah.
pads and helmets, there's more
and they're-
rules
but
in
they're
football.
Really, there is and there isn't, man. A lot of the stuff that they've done with football, I'm not a fan of all of it, especially the shit with hitting the quarterbacks, kind of retarded.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, dude, you shouldn't fucking head target. Like, that's just stupid, you know? Do you know what that is?
Was that where the tackler will lower his head into their chest?
You straight up run as hard as you can, either drop shoulder right on someone's dome or just hit them head to head.
Yeah.
And just fucking kill them.
The whole point of that is to daze them, right? Or get them out of the game.
Yeah, you're gonna. Dude, anytime you get hit from a guy running, with a 10-yard sprint, you're losing some fucking days of your life, So it's just not good.
That's just kids trying to make the highlight reel, though.
Yeah.
I feel like you catch somebody not paying attention, drop shoulder, they basically run right into you and you smoke them. That's making the highlight reel.
So that
people are, the team, the coaches, everybody's going to hype you up about that. Like, hell yeah, good hit, brother. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you get away from that? That's football culture.
Yeah, it is.
Still.
And it's, no one ever tries to hurt people, but no, seriously, dude, this is coming from an offensive lineman. I don't know if you know what a cut block is, man.
Dude, I've seen Varsity Blues. All right? I know all about it.
Fucking stab him in the neck, Jimmy. Get him down there. No, dude, but I don't know. You really don't. And a cut block is essentially when an offensive lineman is going up against somebody who is way more athletic than them. So instead of trying to get in front of them, blocking them, you literally just shove your helmet in their fucking knee. And then gator roll for the hell of it to try to get them down on the ground.
Nice. Gator roll.
I never that's just what you're taught. It's not.
Wrap
they're not.
up.
Yeah, but
Wrap
they're no. You can't fucking if you wrap and roll, you're fucking somebody up bad, bro.
Is it against the rules?
It is now. You can't. So you can't hip tackle anymore, which means you can't do that kind of sliding tackle where you grab someone from behind.
Yeah.
By the waist.
Can't hear you with the mic.
And then pull them back. Sorry, Jesus Christ. And then pull them down under. So if you can't essentially lay your body on the back of someone's leg. Because if you're facing that way and I essentially grab you from below the waist and fall down into your legs while pulling you, I'm fucking leveraging your knees, right?
Yeah, that's true.
And out. That's a really easy way to tear someone's ACL.
So essentially, they're trying to change the rules to give players more longevity in the game.
At the same time, man, that's the goal for sure. But at what point, none of it's good for you. Offensive line is literally nothing but head-to-head contact. What's the point of even trying to limit it anymore?
Well, we were talking about soccer though. With any of those high, elite level sports, you are pushing the limits of your body, no matter what you're doing. I mean, if you think about a soccer player, for instance, how much they are running just in a game, let alone training, kicking. You know what I'm saying? And think about kicking. You're extending and locking your knee with that crazy force.
It's not good for you.
You got to think those dudes probably are fucked up by the time they're done.
Your hips, your patella,
everything. I mean, all that shit. They're probably halfway crippled by the time they're done. It's not the same as football as far as beating them up as bad. You know, but same with basketball. Same thing. Jumping. You know what I mean? Running on that hard court. It's gotta. I think any sport is gonna break down that player or athlete. Cyclist, runner, anything.
Any repetitive motion is not good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're not only doing it in the game, but just over and over.
Practice.
Even baseball. Baseball's huge with the pitchers, especially with the Tommy Johns and throwing their arms and their shoulders out and fucking themselves up. I'd say the longevity players are hitters. DHs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys who just hit.
Absolutely. There's not a
jog the bases.
There's not a whole hell of a lot of guys, especially pitchers, that last super long, especially nowadays. It's so bad for you. Yeah. And it's wild to think that throwing...
That's probably why they get paid so much.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because they know they're not going to play as long.
Yeah. But it's not a natural movement, which is wild.
You're essentially trying to throw your arm out of the socket every time.
Yeah.
Especially if they say if you're throwing the junk ball the way you're twisting, and you're yanking your shoulder.
You're hyperextending your elbow, and that's even with regular pitches. You are too. That's typically why you have to get that Tommy John, where they cut all this out and they replace it with another ligament
because of the scar tissue, right?
Yeah, just it builds up over time, and you're gonna blow it at some point. You're gonna have to get it as a pitcher at some point, dude. It was so bad when I played football, basketball, and baseball in high school. my sophomore year, bro, I got done pitching a game of varsity, pitched the whole game, dude, the whole game, probably through like, I don't know, 110, 120 pitches. And I had a really good curveball. So I threw a curveball like a motherfucker. I'd throw 2 or 3 in at bat. Just fuck it. Have them fucking looking like idiots. But I couldn't lift my arm above my head the next day after my last game that I played. And that's when I was like,
I'm
fuck
done.
this. I'm done.
I'll get more out of football. Yeah.
It's hard, too. Baseball's like, there's guys who are fucking phenomenal. And, like, if they were given the chance, they'd play in the MLB and, like, be solid. But there's 3 tiers of minor leagues.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
It's tough, dude. I've always wondered that because you see kids that go straight out of high school straight to like a farm team for like a year or two.
Yeah.
And then like, and they're not that great.
Yeah.
Like it really is like, and I'm not saying like, oh, I'll better, but I'm saying like they're not that big of a shining star of any of these other guys. It's like luck of the fucking draw, really. It really is. Yeah, that's baseball, that would be rough, bro. To do that your whole fucking life.
If you are successful as a hitter 30% of the time, bro, you're a fucking legend.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
To think about, like really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a very lucky game.
I can't believe baseball's still as popular as it is.
I hate watching it.
I can't. Okay, so here's the thing. I cannot fucking watch baseball on TV. I just can't. Same with soccer. I've never been to a professional soccer game. I've been to multiple professional baseball games.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like not kidding. I'd rather go to a pro baseball game than a pro football game.
You got to go to with the right people.
Yo, yeah. It's like, but I'm saying the whole atmosphere, the like drinking beer, fucking down in glizzies, you know what I mean? Like just.
It's chill.
You know, and then like the cameras and the chants and the 7th inning stretch and like the whole vibe of it is cooler. It is more like it has that nostalgia to it.
Well, football fans are fucking, a lot of them are just idiots.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know. Baseball fans are pretty rough too. I was in Chicago.
Oh, well, that's your first problem.
And I went to a White Sox game.
Yep.
And here's what's fucking crazy,
Who were
bro.
they playing?
So they played the Red Sox. Yeah. So it wasn't like as big of a deal as them playing like the Cubs, but like definitely still they fucking hate Boston.
Everybody hates Boston.
Everybody fucking hates Boston.
The people of Boston are fucking terrible.
Yeah. So, and this was around the time that Boston was like really good.
Yeah.
It was like their long stretch of them being like really good. So it was the team everybody hated. They were like, you know, when the Patriots had their run, it was the team everybody hated.
Ortiz
yeah.
and Manny Ramirez.
Yes. Yeah. Big Poppy was out there, baby.
Fun fact, David Ortiz gave me a fucking bat at a Rays game that I went to.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I
didn't have anything cool like that happen. But so I was 15, right? And this is just like a testament of how much Chicago has changed. I have family like in Chicago, so I've been to Chicago like a lot, like as a little kid and even as I was older. When I went this time, I went with my buddy, and we went and stayed with his family in like a suburb, Mount Prospect or something like that. It's like right outside the city. And we took the train by ourselves. First of all, we painted our faces. I was not a White Sox fan, but like I was a temporary White Sox fan for the day, right? Yeah. Like because his aunt worked for, at the time, U.S. Cellular, which was who owned the field, U.S. Cellular Field.
So you guys got hooked up.
So we got hooked up. We went to the executive lunch with the players. So, like, we went and ate lunch, and the players were literally, like, sitting with people, walking around, signing balls. So, like, I got a couple balls signed by players. I had no idea who the fuck they were. I did, however, get one ball signed by Frank Thomas. He was the only one who I knew. He was a legend at the time. Like, I think he's one of the few players who got over 3,000 hits. No idea where it is. I think my mom might still have it. Yeah. I don't know. But, yeah, I did get a ball signed by Frank Thomas. I remember being super stoked about that just because I knew if you know anything about baseball, you know who Frank Thomas is.
Yeah.
So anyway, we painted our faces looking like fucking total nerds, and we had signs, and he was all about it, like Sox #1. My sign literally was just a black sign with white paint that said, "Put me on TV." That was it. And so with our faces painted, got on the fucking train, went to the south side of Chicago, got off right next to O Block, like the most dangerous fucking, what they call Chirac now, right? Where King Von's from, apparently murdering people out there. Walked to the stadium, no trouble at all, no big deal. I didn't even see anybody. Like, it wasn't a big deal. And we had to walk like 4 blocks, 5 blocks, something like that. And then, went through the game, all that. It ended up being a 19-inning game. We were there all motherfucking day. We didn't even get out of that stadium. And I was on TV, by the way, like 8 times. I was on ESPN because my buddy's family was watching the game on ESPN. And we were on there like 8 times. We were right on the first base line, 3 rows up. Beautiful, beautiful seats. You know what I mean? So you could just see my big black sign, put me on TV with my face painted. By the end of the fucking game, all the face paint was like crackling and smeared, and we're just like over it. I'm like, dude, we got to get out of here. You know what I mean? Like, this is crazy. So we didn't get out of there until like probably 11 o'clock at night, almost midnight. Walked right back through Southside at 11 midnight where they say it's oh, don't do that.
No problems.
No problems. No problems whatsoever. Walked to the train, like didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? So, but that was a very cool experience. And it was one of the longest games in history. And I was there.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's a bad time to go to a game.
Yes, I agree.
Especially when your friend's
way too fucking long.
Because I'm sure you asked them 20 times, dude, can we
just fucking go? Yeah.
No, dude,
After about the 12th inning, I was like, we gotta get out of here. Like this, we have been here for 6 hours, dude. Like, we have to go.
Would have been way funnier if you guys got robbed.
I agree to a certain extent. I mean, there wouldn't have been much to rob, but yeah, it would have been a cool story. But
Give me your Frank Thomas ball.
Yeah, that's right. They could have got me good, bro. They could have got me good. I don't know. I just think it's funny, though, because like I hear people talk about how South. I haven't been back, obviously, but I hear
how dangerous it is.
How dangerous it is. And I don't know. Maybe it's just that area and close to the stadium is like wasn't that bad ever. But it was. I mean, there's projects and like those like brownstone housing everywhere. I don't know what you call that.
I think really, I mean, dude, you got to think about it. I feel like shit didn't really start getting bad. Like bad in inner cities really to like relatively recently. In the last like 6 or 7 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like it wasn't that bad. Like everybody hypes up city. Yeah, dude, it's tough in the city, in the Bronx, in fucking Southside Chicago.
I feel like that was like, more like, it's because people are just assholes.
Well, just poor, I feel like, is what they meant.
That too. But, I mean, dude, people from cities are just dicks. Because, like, they don't look at people the same as we do from, like, a small town perspective where, like, you know, like, hey, I should say hi to this person.
Yeah.
Or, like, you know, hey, I should at least look at this person and nod. They'll walk right fucking by you because there's a million other fucking people within, you know.
They'll never see that person again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, it's
that is
different.
true. That is true. Especially in a small town that, like, your family's established.
Yeah.
You got to, like, you're respectful because you're probably like, well, my parents might know that person.
Yeah.
Or, like, I might be connected to this person somehow that I don't know, you know. This could come back to bite me in the ass.
In
you know
the
what
city,
I mean?
it's just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
There's literally millions of fucking people there.
Have you ever been to New York City?
On a connecting flight, never.
So you didn't like actually get to. I want to go, man. I want to go. I want to experience it.
I want to go around
like,
Christmas time.
Yeah, that would be very cool.
That would probably be it, though.
I'd be all right with that. Christmas time trip. Yeah, I don't care.
There's nothing else that draws me there.
I just want to see it. I just want to like stay in Manhattan, walk around, go to Central Park. Like I want to fucking see it.
Well,
you know what I mean? I've been to Chicago 100 times.
Frankie's family is from New York, and they don't even go in the city anymore because like it's just gotten so shitty.
Even
just
like
so
when
shitty.
you say city though, you mean like Manhattan, like
Manhattan,
like downtown New York City,
wherever else. I guess the fuck you go. I don't want to just be like the Bronx and that. Like I don't know. I guess it's really just Manhattan. Isn't that where everybody really goes when they go in?
I feel like when people say the city, they're talking about Manhattan, and then like New York City is like the 5 boroughs, but like you wouldn't say Staten Island. You know, I'm going into the city today, and then you're going to fucking Staten Island or Long Island or whatever.
I feel like Staten Island, Long Island are just like essentially giant suburbs.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah. From what I understand,
from what
I've never been there.
From what we know,
yeah.
I mean,
my father-in-law's from New York City, so he,
Yeah.
you know, he's from Queens
Yeah.
and worked on Wall Street.
They all shit on Queens. I guess that's supposed to be a joke. Oh, he fucking lives in Queens now. Oh,
like
fuck
it's
that
soft.
guy.
Yeah. Like it's nice.
It's not the fucking
not the gritty
shithole.
city.
Yeah. It's
You're
like
not in Brooklyn or Manhattan.
That's what I don't get though.
But Hell's Kitchen, that's in Manhattan.
Yeah.
You know, and they
That's
say
where
that was
Daredevil
supposed
is,
to be, huh?
So that's where Daredevil's is, dude.
Yeah, that's where Daredevil is.
He runs fucking.
Well, that
Hell's
was
Kitchen.
where like the 5 points and like the whole Irish shit and
all the
I don't know.
shit.
I guess now they call it the Bowery. See, like that's another thing. That's what I would go for is the history. Like I want to see the older spots. Like I want to go visit the Bowery.
We're like the OG immigrants were coming.
The OG immigrants and the OG tattoo scene, dude. Like the underground OG tattoo scene. Like that's where shit. Like that's where American tattooing started.
I'm not really into all that.
I know. I'm
stuff.
super into anything history, obviously. And fucking dude, like that was what got me with the tattoos was like the history behind the tattoos and how old they were and how that all started. So that's what really hooked me, I'd say.
Do you plan on getting any more?
Yeah, absolutely. I just don't know the limit for where we work.
I don't think there is any more.
There's always a limit.
Dude,
I think if I came in with my throat tatted,
when you start,
I was this close to getting a throat tat.
That's
like straight up on my throat,
dude. You got to do shit that you can just completely cover up.
I was literally gonna get a fucking like something like American traditional style, but like a tiger, like with his mouth open, and then like wings going off the side. Not kidding. I was this close, this fucking close. I was going to go for it because I was like, I want to be covered. Like I'm still getting other tattoos. I just don't know how many like showing. Like definitely my other arm. You know what I mean? Maybe like a couple on my legs. I don't know. I feel like when you have your legs sleeved out, it could go either way.
I like
sometimes
the legs. I like the leg sleeves.
Sometimes it looks good, and sometimes it looks like really white trash and shitty. You'll see. You get around more people that are covered, you'll see like
when you get like when you get higher quality shit, I feel like it looks good. When you get dumb, stupid cloud fucking filling and fucking bullshit Bible scripture, and you've never read the fucking Bible or like some really dumb shit like that.
Well, and a lot of that shit
kind of like
And when I was researching it, because I liked that style too, like Tim the Tatman. Right, like his style of like just black and gray
some cool
shading. Yeah, he has good shit, but like a lot of the cloud filler,
I don't like
a lot
the
of like the just randomly placed kind of pieces with filler that ties it in, and then a lot of writing. I liked writing. I liked the idea of getting scripture, written and stuff.
I'm not shitting on people who do it. I just mean the people who do it. And it's like, dude, like,
but it looks bad. Because it almost always, unless you get it really thick, it bleeds.
It gets fucked.
So you can't even fucking read it.
Yeah.
And then it's at that point just scribbles.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes a couple years and it bleeds.
My buddy Ty, the one that I, called that Colby kid a fag over in the previous episode. Buddy Ty, guy I grew up with, 6'6", just big ass black guy. I'm not gonna go into dimensions. Big ass black dude, really nice guy. He's a great guy.
A Bab, huh?
He's one of my
BAB?
good friends. Big ass black dude, yeah. And
BAD.
He had never had tattoos, bro, till the end of our junior year. Where it's the spring of our junior year in 2014, and this fucking kid gets this tattoo guy to come to his fucking house, does his whole fucking arm, whole half sleeve.
Did it look shitty?
Yes and no. So like,
you got lucky,
man. If you're like on the darkness scale, right? If you're like kind of that in between like light and dark, getting scripture is just kind of pointless, man. Like I'm just gonna be honest.
It's tough.
I can't read it.
It's
So
especially after a couple years too.
It did look good. Like it did look good, and then this fucking idiot, man, he goes out dirt biking like 2 days later.
Like while it's still fresh?
Busts his fucking ass, lost half the fucking tattoo. So bad, dude.
Yeah.
So bad. It was
Can't be doing that.
And black people get that stuff too where they get road rash. Their skin's like pink. So he had like half pink fucking half sleeve, dude. He had some gnarly road rash.
We're all pink on the inside, Grant.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But it was gnarly, dude. It was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
man.
that's funny.
Imagine spending all that money just to have it burned off your body 2 days fucking later.
Yeah. Well, dude, while I was getting all these tattoos, I was still welding. So I was like super like anytime I'd get a spark.
Did you wear? Why did you not wear sleeves?
I would wear sleeves. Like it depends.
I know it's hot as fuck.
I was gonna say we do live in Florida, Grant, and it gets hotter than Satan's asshole.
Yeah.
So,
But still, dude. I mean, you're gonna get that job is like not. am I gonna get burnt? It's when am I gonna get burnt?
It depends, man. Like I learned pretty quickly on, especially in the shipyard. There was this guy, and he was watching me get burnt, and I actually burnt myself really bad. I had like a big glob because I was doing overhead, and I had a big glob drop, and I had Justins. I always wore lace-up Justins. That was the last fucking time I did that, because you know how when you lace them up and then you fucking loop them around up your ankle,
can't get them off.
Takes fucking forever to get off. Number one, number two, it has that like soft tongue because they're laced, right? So that fucking thing just slipped right between the laces, sat on the top of my foot. I still have a big scar on the top of my foot. Ooh. Sat on the top of my foot for a good 45 seconds while I'm fucking jumping around trying to untie this fucking thing.
How hot is that metal?
Thousands of degrees. I mean, it's liquid. You know, you're liquefying the metal.
Well, I do know a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Now, dude, I went down the rabbit hole of suppressors, and I just can't stop. I'm gonna end up buying like 3 or 4 more. I bought 2 suppressors, by the way.
That's I got to get on that. I absolutely. I don't care if I suppress anything else but my AR, but I got to get on that with you. I fucked
up. It was an expensive mistake.
What?
Buy one nice one. And don't get caught up in the whole, because like I'm now where I'm like,
what do you mean? That's like multi-caliber or like a 30 cal?
So buy a 30 cal and just run it on everything. Because the difference in decibels that you lose from not using a 5.56 one on a, it's like negligible.
Really?
Yeah, it's not a big difference. You're talking about like a 2%, 3% difference on most suppressors.
Really?
Yeah, not a big deal.
I did not know that. I thought you kind of like had to go close, because I thought it also would affect your.
So let me tell you,
your MOA,
it really doesn't. So they call it.
You do need to re-zero though.
They call it point of impact shifting.
Right.
And there's nowadays with modern advance, it's really not that big of a deal. With shitty old suppressors like the old Allen,
that gets super hot.
Yeah, the old like Allen Engineering ones. You have some point of impact shift. But like Surefire has got that fucking down to a T.
They seem to be one of the better brands.
If you're gonna buy suppressor, bro, buy a 30 cal. I fucked up, like I said. Buy a 30 cal.
Why did you fuck up though?
Well, so like noise suppression is not why you buy these, bro. It's really not. And that sounds.
That's why I want to buy it.
I know, but I'm telling you, it's nice, but that's not the main reason you do it. The main reason why you do it is for like night ops type shit.
Having a flash.
Literally not having a flash. That's the main thing that the SEALs cared about. That's why they loved the Surefire so much. They weren't the quietest. They had a lot of blowback. But when you shot them at fucking night, your first shot's always going to spark. Every shot after that, nothing.
Yeah, that first hit.
Nothing.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And those Surefire ones, dude, they're gnarly.
It makes sense, though.
Beat the fuck out of those things. I know that's like really specific niche shit, but this is like, dude, I'm telling you, it's all I've looked at the last 2 weeks.
It's what you're into right now,
yeah,
for sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I got to get on that though. So yeah, maybe you're right. I'll do my due diligence, do my research, because I definitely would love to have one that I can,
swap around.
Buy just the different. What are
muzzle device?
Yeah, muzzle device, flash hider. Yeah,
that's the second reason why I was saying that is like. Because now I have a dead air LTI cross country XC, which is like super. It's 8 inches. It's super light. It's like most stainless steel suppressors are anywhere from like 17 ounces to like 20 ounces. This one's titanium and it's legit. I think 9 ounces.
Really?
Yeah, but it also can't handle like mag dumps. You have to shoot smart. It's something.
Shoot smart.
Yeah, well, not like a fucking retard going to the range shooting rounds over the berm, like an idiot.
That's what I do.
Exactly.
It's kind of my thing.
It's everybody's thing.
I like to hear that crack.
Likes shooting fast.
I like to hear that crack.
But that's why I ended up buying the Huxworks too, because I was like, fuck, I want one where I can do some dumb shit, and God forbid you're ever in a situation where I'll never be in a situation where it's necessary to shoot mag after mag. But if you ever were, it's nice to have the capability.
Well, I feel like if we're being honest with each other and we're being honest with our viewers, I'd say the main reason. That's good. Make sure you put that logo out there. We want to get picked up. We want to get sponsored. Yeah. I'd say the main reason though that me and you have we'll say, I like to say life and liberty rifles, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever. You know what I mean? The main reason we have set up rifles like that is in a situation where shit hit the fan, whatever that means, right? Like foreign invasion, tyrannical governmental type stuff.
Maybe.
Hey, so the Second Amendment is
getting
for.
a little too rowdy.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, fucking look at it. Look
Blacks
at
start riding and
I mean, really though, like think about a situation like in England. You know what I mean? Like what's going on over there, and with all the Muslims, and they took on all these fucking people, and now they're just like
rolling around with vans and knives,
fucking shit up, destroying shit.
Machetes.
You know, they're pissed. They're fucking. They want to hurt people, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like in a situation like that.
Yeah.
That's what we have those rifles for. Any kind of like abnormal situation, because realistically, somebody breaks into my house tonight, my air is not the first thing I'm grabbing. I'm grabbing my Glock.
Yeah.
That's what I have it for. You know what I mean?
See, we're different in that aspect.
I just don't. My life's a little different too. Like I can't have. Yeah, I have kids, so I can't have the rifle next to the bed
fine with
loaded.
remodeling my home.
You know what I mean? I have to have like the little secure box, a little quick box with the pistol in there. It has to be secured. Yeah. You know what I mean? I just my kids are pretty good. I've like they're familiar with it. It's not like this strange thing that I mean my little kids wouldn't know what to do with it, but like for instance, like my oldest, she's familiar with firearms. She wouldn't like be, what do I, like accidentally set it off. Like she understands how to operate a firearm well enough to not accidentally shoot her or someone if the situation arose that she had to
and that's very
one or something.
Dude.
I think it's very important too. And I grew up the same way, always just around firearms and knowing how to use them. And I took like the hunter safety course and shit when I was like 10. But it did come in handy once because I remember being in a kid's house and there was multiple kids. And I was there with my friends. I didn't know the kid very well that we were at his house.
Yeah.
But he decided to show off, went into his dad's closet. Yeah, check out my dad's gun. You know what I mean? And like there was girls there and they started freaking out. Oh my God, is it loaded? Like what's going on? Oh my God, you're an idiot, right? And I remember like I got it. Like and I made sure it wasn't loaded, but I made sure it wasn't, you know what I mean? I knew to like, pull the slide back, make sure the mag was out, make sure there wasn't a round in the chamber. And then I locked it, locked the slide and was like, go put that away, you fucking idiot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's so simple.
But had no one there known anything about guns,
you could have had a
and Dad had one locked in the chamber, he could have just, it's not loaded. You know what I mean? It's never fucking loaded when somebody accidentally gets shot. You know what I mean? So
I've had some close calls, dude. I've had some close calls.
I can see it.
Some real close calls.
I can see it. I've never had a close call.
I've had twice. One was with an AK, and like literally, I don't know what I was doing. I was getting ready to go shoot with my buddies, and I picked up the rifle, locked back the bolt, chambered one. I thought the mag was empty. It was not. Nice. And then I went to squeeze the trigger for whatever reason, and I stopped myself, and I was like,
I better check.
I was like, this gun feels a little heavy. I was like, so I took out the mag and I see fucking rounds in there. I was like,
whoopsie.
Like finger was literally on the fucking trigger.
Well, what were you pointing at though? Just the ground?
I think like.
Were you like in the car?
Yeah. No. It was in the house. Like it
still though, dude.
Yeah. I would have fucking.
You got your fucking ass beat.
Well,
dude.
not just that. I would have been concussed.
Yeah. And then just see Dad come in the door like, you're like,
what the fuck?
You motherfucker. Yeah.
Start beating the shit out of me.
Yeah, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. But like you gotta be careful.
That's
so like
hilarious.
after that, because I used to kind of like, you'd watch a video online and they'd always say like, don't ever point a gun that or it's something you don't intend to destroy. Always check the chamber. And like I kind of blew it off. This is like 1920 when I started getting guns. I'm like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. If you ever
I know. Yeah. If you don't know it's loaded, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah.
No, you don't.
It happens.
It happens.
No,
all
yeah.
the time.
And that's what I'm saying. Like I was always really big on like the safety rules. You know what I mean? As like
you gotta be.
Yeah.
You really do gotta be. And I've been better.
You do.
I've been better since that incident.
Especially with kids. Like you have to.
You
have to go through. You might be fine. You might know that that's not loaded. I just check it anyway. I always check. I just make it a habit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The only time I've ever had close calls is if I went to a public range and the person next to me fucking flagged me like 8 times. Just, all right. Like, dude, real quick, I just, like, there was one time in particular at fucking Cecil Webb. So it's like an outdoor public range.
Yeah.
Right? Anyone can go. You don't have to, there's nothing, no requirement.
Sign a waiver.
This young kid, I could tell he was like just getting into guns, super stoked on it. He had a 357, like kind of long barrel revolver, and he brought like his grandma, like an elderly woman, and was like, "Come on, yeah, you can shoot this one. You can shoot this one." And the whole time, like when the first time she shot it, it obviously did like the barrel flip real bad. I mean, she wasn't barely holding on to this thing. You know what I mean? It did the barrel flip real bad, and she's like, "Oh," and that scared her. And then probably about 8 fucking times in the next minute and 30 seconds, she kept turning and was like, "Now what do I do with this?" Like and I'm like right there, I'm like, "Oh, all right." And I like backed off. I like got out of the booth and just sat there. I was like, "No." And the kid's like, no, it's fine. It's not loaded. I was like, okay, dude. I just sat on the bench and waited for her to be done. I was like legit pissed. I was like, man, like I get it. You're an older woman. You went with your grandson. You guys are having a good time. I'm not gonna fucking die over your good time because you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
When I first went with you, this was like forever ago. This is like when I first bought my AR way back in the day. I remember I was shooting it with like literally, I didn't even have irons on it. It was a DPMS Oracle, like the most bullshit AR you could buy.
What do you mean you didn't have irons? What were you just?
Yeah, it was just literally
point shooting.
Yeah, you were literally like, yeah, fuck it, just shoot at the target. You know, just try to line it up, and who gives a shit? I was like, okay. It was like me, you, Joey. I think Trav was out there too with us. And
gosh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was fucking. I was like 19, and yeah, God, dude, that was 9 years ago. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a long time.
Well, we
ago.
went over to the pistol range and we were shooting your Glock, and then I took out. It was my parents' Beretta 92.
Nice.
I was shooting that. It kept stovepipe. It kept jamming. I was like, what the fuck? So like I remember I took out the mag, I cleared it. Guy next to me was like kind of dick. He was like, oh. I think he was like an instructor and he was working with someone. He's like, I'm gonna back up because this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, dude, it's fucking jamming. Like, I don't know. And it turned out it was like some really shitty, really old 9mm ammo.
Oh yeah. Fuck it, shoot it.
But yeah, dude. But like, it's not easy getting into that shit.
Yeah.
You gotta go practice, and then sometimes
there's definitely a barrier to entry.
The flagging thing is like that's got to be the first thing.
The flagging thing got me. It would be different if they were like keeping it pointed down range and messing with the gun. I wouldn't feel nervous.
Yeah.
But the fact that she already didn't have a good handle on this fucking thing, you know what I mean? And just, I mean, right at me, dude. Just
that's
you know, and I'm like, all right. Like after the 8th time, I was like, all right, I'm just going to wait.
It's also, dude, people are stupid. Why would you put your grandma in that situation? Like when I'm getting ready to go take my fiance out shooting, right? I'm not going to fucking give her,
You're not going to bring your biggest caliber gun for her to. I mean,
really,
even at that, if they're experienced,
45,
they understand what they're doing, but don't like take a person. And there's a lot of people that do that. They take somebody who's never shot before and they think it's funny.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, shoot this fucking, you know.
Why?
Shoot this 10-gauge shotgun. It'll be funny. You know what I mean? And
it's
then
so
they
stupid.
fucking, you know, almost fall over, drop the gun.
And you traumatize them too. So
yeah. And then they're like, oh, I don't like guns. Yeah. No, I never did that. I always like anytime I took somebody new, I always felt like AR was a good starter. They are extremely loud.
Oh yeah.
And I get that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And like I only ever put a muzzle brake on one AR one time, and I went home and I took it off. It was obnoxious, dude. I was like, holy fuck, that is raping my fucking ears. And I had ear pro in, obviously. You know what I mean? It was still raping me. I was like, all right, that's whoever does this is a fucking moron.
That's kind of the joke about it, though, man. Because like ear pro,
you don't need it.
You still get tinnitus with wearing ear pro. Like ear pro is not enough.
It lowers the decibel, yeah, but it's not.
But it's not perfect.
I think if you get the good like Pelletors or like expensive Swordens.
Did you buy some of those?
I don't have. I still just use the foam or whatever, the rubber ones.
You go to
I
Walmart,
like better.
buy like the shitty fucking overhead ones. And they're just not great.
They are not protecting you to the point that you should be. Now the over ear ones that actually have like the audio feedback, those are supposed to be sufficient.
Yeah.
So,
But who's spending money on that?
I mean,
rather spend more
I
money on
would,
my
I guess,
gun.
if we started shooting a lot again.
Fuck my ears.
Yeah. I would definitely get like a pair of Sordens or something, Comtacs or something like
Dude,
that.
let's
Like,
start going again.
I want to.
I want to do a tactical range.
That's what I'm saying. There needs to be a shoot house.
Yeah,
Me
but-
and my buddy were talking about that.
I want to do the drills where it's like 5 to 10 rounds. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
And even then, like maybe shoot maybe 100, 200 rounds. on
Where
a
do we
trip.
have something? I feel like, on it, genuinely, I have an idea. I want to check out Punta Gorda Gun Club. It's off Burmont. I think it's come and go as you want. Like, you get the gate code and whether somebody's there or not. And they do, like, events, obviously. You know, you pay dues. But I think that would be our only chance to potentially set something like that up, to just be able to, like, have the freedom to do drills, because you definitely can't do that at a public range.
No.
I mean, you could try at, like, an indoor range, but you're crossing targets and they fucking freak out about that.
You can't do that.
You'll get kicked out. So it's like if they catch you doing it. And me and my buddy had the same idea. And we wanted to do drills because, okay, we go to the range. You stand still or you sit down at the bench. It's great for like zeroing rifles or just having like a day where you're bringing people and just they get to shoot guns and you get to watch them enjoy it. But for us, it does nothing. You know what I mean? Even the 250 range, that was cool for a while. But again, you're stationary, you get bored. You know what I mean? It's like you're not pushing yourself to get better. You know what I mean?
It's all about movement, man. You gotta practice the footwork.
You got to shoot. You got to shoot and move. Absolutely.
Yeah, I
Yes.
don't know if you've ever watched those CQB things. There's just a lot to it, and if you're not, and that's not even just a boogaloo thing. That's like an actual.
No, yeah, clearing your own house.
Exactly.
I mean, seriously, slicing, you know, and fucking, you know, checking a room before you just walk into it.
I learned a lot, man. I've been watching them probably for like the last 3 years. Every time I see them pop up,
I'm big on them.
I rewatch a couple of them because it's just like it's good to have that. I've practiced my doorway a couple times. I look like a fucking retard.
I do
And,
the
like my
same.
boxers.
I do the same thing though. Yeah, I'll clear the house all the time with an empty.
But it's just it's so cool though, man. Like, and it's something you need to know. Like, it's something you need to fucking know.
For like absolute budget, anybody out there who's listening who wants to get into it doesn't have the money for like to go to the range all the time or like to do what we're talking about. There is those cool like the dry fire pins that you can put in your chamber. So you practice with your gun, with the weight of your gun, with the trigger pull of your gun. Well, you'd have to reset it, but you know what I mean. Like if you have a Glock or something like that, it'll constantly, you know. But if you have a hammer fire, you'd constantly have to. I'm getting too detailed.
Yeah.
My point is that they do have that where you put it in and it's like a laser, and then you can set up targets around your house to like have that kind of
And it'll
movement.
reset a striker fire. You can keep squeezing the trigger.
A striker fire will reset,
Really?
yeah, but not a like a hammer fire.
Well, that
anything like
makes sense. Yeah. External controls.
But yeah, it'll reset to the point. I mean, because it's constantly clicking. There's
When
nothing.
did we start, by the way?
Huh?
When did we start?
When did we start? What? The pod?
Yeah.
I have no fucking clue.
Well, it's 9:53, so I'm gonna say we've been on for an hour.
I go check the camera and see how long.
Don't worry about it.
All right. I want to check it. I want to make sure we're actually
Well, if
recording.
we go a little over 2 hours, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I want to keep it to around
Double check.
2 hours. Yeah, I'm gonna double check.
real quick. Hopefully your fucking battery didn't die again. You scared me. You just did a double take.
Yes, I did.
You're like,
I couldn't remember. Is it the square when it's recording, or is it the
It's
circle?
it's
It's
the
the
square.
square. Yeah, we're good. We've been recording for about an hour,
Okay, good deal.
so 55 minutes or something like
So,
that.
yeah, we'll go another hour 10, hour 20, whatever.
Yeah.
Keep it at 2 hours.
I do
so
want to.
2
Yeah, I
hours.
do want to keep it to around hour
Well,
and a
that
half,
first
2
one,
hours.
dude, we had so much shit that
I
we had to
know.
go over.
Well, fuck, it had been over a month. I think it was like almost 2 months.
Yeah.
And even this one's like 3 weeks. Because you've been saying I want to do it every week, and it's like I keep having shit going on.
Dude, it might just be twice a month. Who gives
Yeah,
a fuck?
twice a month,
Unless
I
we
think
start
is-
really getting traction. Because I'm a little disappointed with the shorts. I thought they would have done better, but it's that shit.
It's hit or miss. Yeah, we just got to keep cranking them.
Random. The YouTube algorithm is a fucking enigma.
It's
very strange.
You got to keep cranking them, and you got to just put like a shit ton of hashtags about shit that doesn't even have anything to do with what we're talking about. Like, I see that all the time in the shorts. I'll be like, the fuck does this have to do with flowers and gaming? It's it's about just nuclear war.
Very popular. It's very popular tags. I had to use them.
Yeah. I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah, whatever has the most tags, you know what I mean? You just do that. But like I was saying though, the dry fire practicing in your house, like setting up targets and clearing your house and getting that movement and like using your gun, that is cool. And you just buy the system and then you can use it over and over again. But I agree. I want to do drills. I want to do move and shoot, and then just different, like leaning up against something, or like, actually like leaning a doorway or leaning some kind of solid surface.
It sounds so gay, but I watched the Grand Thumb CQB thing. I can't remember from how long ago that was, but he worked with these guys. That's literally all they do is they just teach people CQB drills. They take them through like a kill house or whatever, shoot house, and I mean, you need multiple people. Like, you essentially have to have a gang before this shit hits the fan type scenarios. Like, you have to have a group.
Yes.
That's literally what they tell you is like, if not, you're not doing CQB.
You're not doing shit by yourself. Yeah, for real.
You can't clear a house by yourself.
Absolutely.
So
that is integral, by the way, whoever's listening. That is integral. You need to have at least 3 or 4 guys.
That's exactly what they said. You need 3 to 4 guys to clear a room. Really, to clear a room efficiently.
To clear a house, clear a room, And let's break that down. What are we really talking about? In a shit hits the fan scenario, what we're really talking about is a raiding party.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's something like a lot of people are kind of scared to talk about. Everybody undertones it. Everybody, there's always that undertone of like, this is the reality of what that looks like. But like for real. And like in a situation, let's just say like an EMP. We have zero fucking protection against that. No. We have no fucking plan. No. We have no plan. Our grids are so fucking outdated.
Now, none of your optics work for your guns too, by the way.
It depends on how close you are to the initial blast, right? There's all sorts of factors to that. But yeah, essentially if you're in that radius of the blast directly or whatever, the EMP, the electromagnetic pulse, it's going to kill all electronics, every fucking thing. Nothing's going to work. Even shit with batteries, nothing's going to work. So again, you need to be somewhat prepared for that. My rifle does have the option to illuminate the reticle, but it doesn't have to be. Yep. The reticle is etched, so I'm good. You know what I mean? In any scenario, I do have flip-up irons on there as well, so if the thing breaks or whatever the fuck, right?
Trigicons, ACOGs, are they EMP proof?
I think so, yeah, ACOGs, because they run off the tritium.
Yeah, it's tritium.
It's like glow-in-the-dark shit. Really, really, really good glow-in-the-dark. Really, do you know what it is?
It's nuclear fucking material.
It's uranium. It's depleted uranium. So that's cool. It's got a little bit of radiation in there. If you're by it all the time, you're getting radiation.
Oh, well, it sits right next to me 24/7.
There you go. No more than your phone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your phone emits an insane amount of radiation.
Really?
Yeah. Actually, if you go and like actually look on the instructions for the iPhone, that when you open a new iPhone, it says to keep it 10 inches away from your head. You're not even supposed to be talking on it like this.
I usually put people on speaker.
Me too.
Unless it's private call.
I mean, think about it right now. How many times does that thing sit in your lap and just blast your dick?
It's on my phone.
It's always in your pocket or on your lap. Yeah, it's just blasting your dick.
Hopefully it makes my dick really big, dude.
Doubt it.
Sweet.
Doubt it. No, it's going to do the opposite, buddy.
It's going to kill you.
It's going to shrivel that thing up like a raisin.
It's just going to kill you. No big dick for you.
So, like, in an EMP situation, right? Yeah. So, let's just say you're not in the initial blast, right? Let's not even, like, prepare ourselves for that. But you are in the aftermath where if they hit any main central grid, besides Texas, any main central grid, the rest are going to try to take on that power load and fail. Yeah. So, they're all going to fry because of failure, because of that main grid being hit. That's enough chaos, right? Even if that happens in the center of the country, we probably wouldn't be super affected, right? But it's still going to be pandemonium, chaos.
It's gonna be nuts,
right? You know what I mean?
Looting and shooting like crazy.
Yes, looting, shooting. People are going to lose their fucking minds. If you're in a situation like that where you lose power, right? Let's say that. What are you going to do? You're going to run out of food. The store's refrigeration's not working. They're going to run out of canned food like in a fucking day. People are going to freak out and panic. Even just something as simple as COVID. They went out and grabbed all the toilet paper and all the fucking tissues and all the fucking cough medicine. I mean, it was gone in like a couple days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so with nothing working, nothing driving, half or more of the trucks in the country are down. You know what I mean? You have to figure out how you are going to keep you and your family, you know what I mean?
Alive, yeah.
And again, it's important for those 4 or 5 people that you have in your, I like to just say raiding party, contingency plan, because we're not going to be able to contact each other. So we have to have a rendezvous point that we all know that we're going to meet here, which is, you know, somewhere centralized to your houses.
It's got to be within walking distance.
Right, which is how are you going to get there if your car's not working? Yeah, so there's a lot of factors.
Don't get killed on your way there with all your fucking shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think those are really important things to talk about. We should talk about that more, you know, as far as just like what would we do in a situation like that, because we have to meet up and stay together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the important part, and we have to.
God, I know this is going to sound so paranoid to certain people, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like you got to
be realistic,
it's
man.
Very realistic.
Look at the fucking world, bro.
Well, that's the only way we're going to the true and this is written in like every end of world book that you see that talks about this scenario. This is the most likely way someone will actually be able to get boots on the ground in America. We will have to get EMP'd.
EMP, yeah.
That's the only way they're going to be able
easiest
to get past
way.
their defenses. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they can
They
do.
can detonate it like, what, it's a few thousand feet in the air, and it still will be insanely effective.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like a missile hitting the ground.
And like you said, and I mean, that doesn't mean that America's going to get taken over, but like you said, they're going to have bigger problems to fucking worry about than
it'll be us.
Food and
we'll
water
be our
to
own
us.
biggest enemy.
Yeah.
We'll freak out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and again, if you don't believe that or you think that's, we'll be fine, look at COVID.
Dude,
that was nothing. All the power was on. All the plumbing worked. Nothing happened. Everybody was fine.
Every hurricane season, dude.
Every hurricane season is a great example.
Yeah.
They say there's a hurricane in the Gulf. Gas is gone in a fucking day.
Water's gone.
Water's gone. All those major supplies, you know what I mean, to board up your house, do all the, you know, food, canned food. People freak the fuck out.
In my opinion,
there's too many damn people.
You need a month's worth of water stocked up in your house at all times.
Yep.
Fuck microplastics. Fuck worrying about that shit. Fuck worrying about it getting hot in your garage. Keep a month's worth of fucking water in your house at all times. Keep a month's worth of fucking peanut butter. Peanut butter is fantastic.
No, I mean, and there's so many options now, bro. Like you can straight up the easiest way to collect water. It's fucking Florida. It rains all the time.
Yeah.
Put a barrel underneath one of your gutters. Like directly connect your gutter into a barrel.
Of barrels. Fuck
now, I've heard that that's actually illegal to collect rainwater.
It is.
Ants, make that make sense. Why is that illegal?
Just people doing dumb shit, dying or something stupid, I'm sure.
What, and drinking it? I mean, what's to stop you from just going outside and keeping your mouth open? That's crazy town stuff. But if you're able to like have one of those little, you know, the little fences they build for like fucking garbage cans and shit like that, hide it, you know, from plain sight or whatever. That's the easiest way. And then obviously boil it. You know what I mean? You can make a fucking fire.
Yeah.
You know, boil it before you use it to cook or drink with or whatever. But that's the easiest way to collect water.
Yeah.
Stockpile water, like you said.
Everybody, if you're not about having guns in your household, I'm not even going to go down the road of why that's a stupid idea. But like you at least
I'll tell you why it's a stupid idea.
Need to be prepared in this scenario, like for that.
Yeah.
Like at least have the fucking food and water so somebody else can steal it from you.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say.
That's the truth of it, dude.
It really is dumb to not. If you are a person who, there's so many people who don't think about this shit at all.
We live in a society.
The day the shit hits the fan, the day shit happens, they're going to be the ones who freak out and go to the store and try to stockpile and just stay in their house and have no idea what to do. that unfortunately they are more than likely going to die.
Yeah.
They are going to die. They're going to probably starve to death, or somebody's going to come through and hurry up the process for them.
No one's going to help you.
No one is coming to save you. That is the truth. No one is coming to save you.
Yeah.
But like you said, stockpiling water and stockpiling food has never been easier. Like they have all those companies that you can order with the 25-year shelf life, like crates, like big fucking crates that'll feed. It'll feed a family of they said it'll feed 7 people for 3 months or something like that. One crate, it's like $100.
Yeah.
Like you can't. Yeah, it's not going to be great. It's probably going to be like a bunch of MRE style
Dude,
meals.
Then
but it's calories.
You're not going to care.
Yes, you are not going to give a fuck. Yeah. It's easy to move. It's small. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do it. Have that. You know what I mean? Why not?
It's essential.
You know, because that could fucking happen.
Even
another situation like another COVID.
Yeah.
For real, that could just be tomorrow. They could just come out and be like, there's another fucking illness. Everybody has to lock down. And people will freak the fuck out again.
If you're someone
it could be worse this time.
Who's freaked out by guns and you're watching this somehow, I don't know why you're even here, but you fucking pussy. I mean, dude, you gotta have something. Guns are an equalizer. Guns are an equalizer. It doesn't matter how big or strong or, well-trained somebody is in any sort of martial arts. If you have a gun, you have the power. That is, you're on not even an equal playing field. You won. That's it. In a life and death situation, you won. All you have to do is point and shoot.
Even in a totally normal suburban situation, the odds of just one person breaking into your house are insanely slim.
Yeah, there's going to be at least 2
I don't feel like enough people talk about that.
No.
It's hardly ever one person. It's almost always 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And most of the time how they do it is they'll do the thing where they have somebody come to your door in the middle of the night and act like they need help.
Yeah.
And as soon as you open the door, 3 people bust in your house. Now, why would you want to put yourself... First of all, don't answer the fucking door in the middle of the night.
No,
I don't care if they say they're in trouble. Don't answer the fucking door. But if you're in a situation like that, you're going to fight off 3 fucking grown-ass men? Even if you're good at fighting. You're going to fight off 3 grown-ass men? It's not going to happen, dude. You're going to get beat the fuck up. Or worse. You know what I mean? Really, there's a whole nightmare scenario that could happen there. Especially if you have a family with kids. It's kind of, I don't know, I won't say irresponsible, but
it is.
You need to have a firearm.
It is.
It's America. It's part of it.
Man, you need to have a fucking gun. I don't care how big and strong you are, dude. I'm 6'6", fucking 300 pounds. I can probably kick most people's ass. I'm not willing to bet my life on that. I'm not willing to bet
3
my
normal
life on
sized
that at
dudes
all.
break into your house. I don't think you're gonna win that fight.
No, I'm fucked. I'm gonna fight as hard as I can, but there's no fucking there's no guarantee.
Which usually means they're gonna kill your ass because you won't stop fighting.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not great. It's not a good scenario to leave yourself wide open like that. Even just in a normal situation. Shit hits the fan situation, I can guarantee you it is not one person coming to your house.
No.
It's not.
4 or 5 or 6, dude.
It's going to be multiple people coming to your house to steal your shit. Law enforcement is not responding. They are not coming to save you. What is to stop them from fucking holding you down while they have their way with your wife and kill all of you after?
Yeah.
I mean, really, seriously, that happens all over the fucking place.
Well, why wouldn't they kill you? That's my thing, too, is in that scenario, I don't want to.
Why wouldn't they kill you? They're not going to get caught.
Well, I don't want to murder people, but in that scenario, I mean, would you really leave a guy alive to fucking brew and stew over that, and then maybe come fuck you over?
Come find you?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. Me consciously, I couldn't kill somebody who's innocent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I will take your shit.
Yeah.
I will. And that's not that's
sorry.
Yeah, that's not a piece of shit thing. That's just, look, dude, if I drive by and I see a Bernie or a fucking Biden poster in your front yard, I'm coming to take your fucking Chef Boyardee, my boy. I'm coming. I'm taking the chicken noodle soup.
I'm taking ketchup, dude. Give me that ketchup mustard.
Buddy, I'm taking the fucking cream of mushroom. All right? I'm taking the cream of chicken.
It's been sitting in there for 3 years.
I'm taking it.
Yeah.
And you're not going to stop me. And I don't suggest you try. Just sit down, let me take your shit, and me and my raiding party will leave. And that is the reality of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be dudes who are pushed, who it's my family living over you. And I've got the gun. I'm taking your shit, buddy. And that's not, a lot of people aren't going to like that. But that's reality. If the shit really came down to it, we're not talking about a normal Saturday night. We're talking about a complete breakdown of society. Let's go with a scenario that's even more realistic than an EMP. And I mean, and really, an active war like that, that's a big move. You know, it's unlikely that would happen in our lifetime, at least for the foreseeable future, right? With the way the world is right now, even as crazy as stuff's getting, it's unlikely somebody would boldly, blatantly attack us like that.
Yeah.
They could come out tomorrow and say the dollar's worthless.
Oh, go fucking crazy.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Can't buy, sell, trade, can't do anything. What are you going to do? Like, for real. And they could do that tomorrow. That's as easy as just coming on the news and saying, the jig's up. The dollar is useless.
I immediately think
your currency is useless. Good luck.
I immediately think of Rick and Morty when Rick's like, I can destroy the whole whatever federal government by just changing, or federal galactic government by just changing one number from a 1 to a 0.
Yep.
And like literally immediately they just start killing each other. They're like, get him. He's like, I'll get him. For money. It's like, give me some. It's like, but that's how it's going to be.
It's absolutely how it's going to be. And so that initial thing, eventually things will level out.
They will.
The people who are going to go out and they want to rape, kill, and murder, they're not going to make it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're going to get killed.
Scenario,
They're not going to have that longevity. But, you know, so you definitely want to try and stay the fuck out of the way, have your own supplies. Go to a place that's remote. No one's coming out into the woods fucking looking to take shit from you. They're going into the neighborhoods, and they're going into people's houses to take shit out of people's houses. You know what I mean?
I live in a neighborhood. What do I do?
Well, we have to have a rendezvous point, and then we have to have a spot that we all know with enough supplies to at least rough it for a while. You know what I mean? I don't suggest, at least for the first, what do they say, like 72 hours or a week? I'd say at least the first week or two, it's not smart to stay in a neighborhood. Because you are unfortunately a sitting duck. Yeah. You're sitting in your house waiting for somebody to come in there. You know what I mean? And even at that point, can you trust your neighbors? Do you know your neighbors that well? Are one of your neighbors going to try to come in there because they know, you know, maybe you've got this or that, or they, you know, whatever. It's more than likely going to be people who live in your neighborhood that are going to come in your house and try to get shit off you. That's the truth of it,
is because they know what you have. That's the truth of it. They know
what you have. Dude, they know what you drive. They know what your wife looks like. They know that you have kids.
Such a whack job. I thought of that during the hurricane. I packed up all our guys because like last second is like literally the storm was about to start hitting us. Fucking, you know, women, dude. They get a little, hectic in those situations. So Frankie's like, fuck it. We need to go to my parents' house. They have a bigger house. It's made it through hurricanes. Let's just fucking go there. So, like, I packed up all my guns. Mind you, my neighbors are all out in the street, like, staring around, watching the storm come in.
Watching you load all your shit.
Watching me fucking put in, 2 AKs, 2 ARs, all this shit.
$1,000 worth of shit.
And I'm just like, fuck me, man. Yeah. Like, now they all know.
They were going to find out eventually.
I guess.
That's the thing. It's hard to hide shit from your neighbors, about your living situation or what you got or whatever. I mean, even if you're going to the range, you're going to load some shit up in the back of the car. Chances are somebody might be outside.
I would do it more sneakily.
True.
I'd grab a blanket.
Wouldn't be like in a panicky
mode. Literally, I had like 15 minutes to pack my shit, so I grabbed all my ammo, all my guns, filled my fucking truck up, and just drove to fucking Venice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, now they know what you got, but that's all right.
Is it?
Yeah, because I wouldn't recommend. Here's a scenario. Let's say they don't know you have guns, then they're definitely going to come in your fucking house. You know what I mean? He doesn't have any guns.
I'd rather have them be surprised by the fact that I own guns. And
I don't want to have
to break
kill
in
anybody.
and I fucking smoke someone than them coming in, tactfully.
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's also the real.
Definitely don't want to have to kill someone if I don't have to.
No,
I'm being for real about that. That's like.
No, dude. Killing is not good for anybody. It's not.
I probably have thought about it more than most normal people.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Not in like a sicko way, but just like when I became, when I first started like buying firearms, I genuinely like. I think it was like an old guy at like a class I took or something like that, but he like. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he said some shit that like.
Was he a Vietnam vet?
Yeah, I think so. And he said some shit that just struck me about like understand that the thing that you have now has the power to take life. You know what I mean? And so, like, that decision doesn't come lightly. If somebody breaks in your house, is it worth killing them? Are they a kid just making a dumb mistake? Or are they there to actually hurt you and your family? And the reality is you have about 2 seconds to make that decision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Before it might be too late.
Yep.
So that just like, and again, I'm probably paraphrasing a little bit, but something along the lines of that fucking stuck with me. I was like, shit. I mean, really think about that. Somebody breaks in your house. How do you know it's not just some dumb fucking kid from down the block got double dared to break in your house, maybe thought you weren't home. He's, you know what I mean? Whatever. Like, he's making a dumb mistake. He's not there to hurt anybody. He's there to steal an Xbox or something. You know what I mean? And now you're going to end his life.
Yeah.
Any potential that he could have had to live a normal life or get his shit together is gone now.
Yeah.
It's final. It's done. And so that, like, weight of taking someone's life, I do not take lightly at all. And I definitely, even if somebody broke in my house, would absolutely do everything I could to defuse the situation before it got to a point to where I had to use lethal force.
No, I think
I would not just shoot first.
I really think in the situation that you're talking about,
that could kill me.
I would just scare them.
Yeah.
I mean, unless but here's
You
also
never know.
the thing, you never know, because like if they made like a suggestive movement or they reached for something,
Exactly.
you're gonna shoot them. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. So what do you do?
Cops do it at traffic stops. I mean, it's like the shit is real.
hard.
You have 3 seconds tops.
They
3
are more
seconds.
trained.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi,
They're way
3
more
Mississippi.
trained than we
That's
are.
it.
Yeah.
Life or death.
But no, so the guy that my brother had for his concealed carry class, he was a Vietnam vet, and first person, the guy told them, he was saying the same thing, like, yeah, this isn't, make no mistake, like, especially guns for concealed carry, like, your intended purpose is to kill someone.
Yeah.
It is not to go shooting at the range and have fun.
No, you're concealing a gun to protect your life.
A gun is designed for combat, is designed for killing people. It's literally the thought process in every gun ever made.
Yes.
His first,
how to most effectively take a life.
His first kill in Vietnam, he, shot the Viet Cong, right? And they, got done with that battle or whatever, and he went and checked to see the guy he shot, just, it's my first kill. It was a fucking, 14-year-old girl that had a fucking AK.
That's rough. Yeah, and what do you do? She would have shot you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yep.
None of it's good,
Nope.
I don't talk about this stuff being like, oh, dude, I can't fucking wait to fucking kill someone.
There are dudes that do, and I can't fucking
You're an
stand
idiot.
it. You've never really thought about it.
No.
You've never actually sat down and thought about it.
Or you lack the
know
mental
I
capacity.
wish a motherfucker would. I can't wait to use this thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, you're going to take somebody's life. And again, I'm going to go out on a limb and say more times than not, someone's down on their luck or having a bad situation, and they're making a fucking bad mistake. Should that cost them their life?
Yeah.
That's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I shoot and kill somebody and I find out it's a fucking, 16-year-old kid who was with his buddies and just made a stupid fucking decision. That's gonna stay with me, man. Like, that's gonna burn me up. So it's like, I don't know. It depends on the situation. You know what I mean? And then
this is a very serious episode.
Yeah.
We haven't really been joking or,
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
that's
love
true.
guns, and I love talking about this stuff.
I know. It's an
And
important topic, though. I
fuck
feel like
you
we were
if
going to
you're
get to
watching
this.
this.
Yeah. It's an important topic, though. I feel like we were going to get to this. This is something we talk about all the time. It's something that's heavy on our minds all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, not like paranoia.
Killing
I'm not like
people, but,
staring out the window like, when's the shit going to hit the fan? But like, it is something that's always in the back of my mind,
Absolutely.
especially, dude, you got to be living under a rock to see all the crazy shit that's going on right now, shit that's literally never happened before, and go, yeah, everything's fine. Everything. This is all perfectly normal. This is normal operating procedure here. No way. Like, the world is getting fucking weirder all the time. You just double up.
Yeah.
You're a
I
fucking
always do.
champion,
I'm gonna
dude.
do a third one because I want to feel the bubbles on my brain.
Oh shit!
That
That never even occurred to me.
What, doubling up?
Yeah. Where do you buy those, and how much are they?
These are like $4 a can, and I get
What?
them.
These were fucking $8.
Circle K sells these.
The
7-Eleven does not. That one that we used to go to that I always bitch about, that's a 7-Eleven.
The one down the road from work?
Yeah.
No, that's a fucking Circle K.
Are you sure about that?
I'd bet my life on it.
I think you're wrong.
How much are we wagering here? Don't put money on it. It is a Circle K. It's 100% a Circle
Dude, no,
K.
it's not. It's a 7-Eleven.
Google it. It's a Circle K, I promise. You're talking about the one right next to like Home Depot and
Yeah,
Publix.
that's
Yeah, no,
7-Eleven.
it's Circle K.
Do you ever get tired of being wrong?
Buddy, I'm right all the time. I'll tell you, as a matter of fact, I get tired of being right because it alienates me from the rest of the general public, you know?
It is wild.
Because
to me,
watch this,
though.
folks. He's about to Google that,
It is wild to
and
me,
it
though,
is a Circle K.
that people are like scared to own guns.
Like to a certain extent, I do get it.
I don't.
Like,
I mean, if you have kids, I can maybe somewhat see what you're talking about.
you definitely have to take extra steps with kids for sure. To secure them.
Oh,
and,
it is. It is a Circle K, motherfucker.
what can I say, dude?
All right, so it's the other way around. It's the 7-Eleven sells them, Circle K doesn't.
Okay, so 7-Eleven sells the zones.
Yes, and these are fantastic.
Yeah, I might switch over to those.
They last a lot longer. And Zen, man, they donated a bunch of money to Kamala. Fuck them.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Bro, why are these companies so out of touch? Like Bud Light with the fucking trans
hold on.
thing.
Come on, man.
And then like what,
I'm
dude?
gonna say
You
this.
you think liberals are fucking dipping
They're not.
Zen?
But
what
well,
the fuck?
They might be, because they might be like,
No,
they're trying to
fuck
quit.
no.
Well, here's my thing, right? If you had to be a betting man, who did you think was going to win the election going into it?
Okay. Now hold on. That's a loaded question.
It's not a loaded
On
question.
fair grounds, Trump.
Yeah.
If they cheated again, yeah.
But what did you expect them? What did
I
you
expected that. I fully expected them to cheat again.
Okay.
So yeah. So,
that's exactly.
so in that
you
capacity, I expected
yes.
Kamala to
So
win.
Same thing, I'm sure, with Zen. They were probably like, hey, you know, this bitch is probably going to win. The safer
trying to bet on the winning horse.
The better thing to do is to give money to both. That's what a lot of companies do. They give money to both. They're just
Why
like,
get
fuck
involved
it.
at all? You're a fucking.
No, what do you mean?
Just sell
What do you
nicotine.
mean?
I don't see.
Dude,
I don't
they're
get that.
they're all sucking up and getting something done with these fuckers. All of them are. But my thing is, like I said, why bet on one? Just bet on both. But when you do that, it's almost like you're taking a political stance. Don't fucking do that. Stop doing that. Bud Light. Be like I don't know. Monster's probably gay too. It wouldn't
They probably
surprise me.
are.
Damn it, dude. There was some left.
Didn't you put your? Yeah, you are a wild man, dude.
Oh, it tastes minty.
Yeah, I bet it does.
But like,
a little shot of
Why
nicotine
do
in
they
there.
think that's a good idea? You alienate 50% of the U.S. population when you do that.
That's a wild move. It's a wild move. It's a wild move to do it in either. But I mean, I don't know, bro.
Is it? Because I
It's hard.
Well,
dude,
when you
this last election cycle, it was hard to look at it the same way as we did with the Hillary one.
No. I'm
The
talking
Hillary
about-
one was like, man, I don't think as many people like Trump, and I think Hillary's going to
that
win. But that
was-
sucks.
He was also unproven. But I'm not talking about
True.
that. What I'm saying is, if you're saying like not get political at all, I feel like it is easier to entice people that lean to the right to buy your product just based off of your moral stance alone. Like, I've heard of liberal people buying from like black-owned businesses
Mm-hmm.
because they have white guilt and they're faggots. But like, I don't hear like Republican people, you know, or I do hear Republican people constantly say, "Oh, I fucking love that company. They're fucking red. They're great." Like the MyPillow guy. Have you ever
He's
fucking,
like a big Trump
have
guy,
you ever
right?
used a MyPillow?
No.
They fucking suck dick.
Nah,
But
really?
Oh my god, they're terrible. But he sells fucking millions of them because he supports Trump.
He
And
took a
he's-
stance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out.
We have more loyalty. That's the truth of it. I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, the Bud Light thing definitely, I'm not like a beer drinker, but I definitely was like, no.
Yeah.
I was with everybody else. No. You're pushing it too far.
Okay.
You're pushing, you're totally not even, you're not even taking a
Also-
political stance. You're taking a political, religious, cultural,
Yeah.
like fringe. Stop it.
That lady should never work again in her life.
I definitely don't think she works there anymore.
I don't think they fired her.
Oh, no, she's gone.
Is she really?
Yeah. Or at least whatever position she was
Well,
in.
I think they took her off. I don't think they fired her.
Creative director or whatever the fuck.
Who drinks beer?
Dudes.
Specifically, what type of dudes?
Dude bros.
Yeah.
Who drinks Bud Light?
Yeah.
fucking rednecks, like
Yeah.
dudes. Yes.
Know your fucking audience.
Insane to me. Like that's insane.
Know your fucking audience.
Who's drinking Bud Light? Like for real though. Like the liberals in fucking New York City are going to the high end bar and
take a
ordering
Bud
a
Light.
Bud Light.
Take a Bud Light.
Like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. It's
They're
the
drinking-
same thing. Like know your
They're
audience.
drinking fucking Chardonnay.
Do you really
and
think
gay
the dude
shit.
in fucking on Wall Street, the lib fuck whatever lives in New York City is dipping?
No.
No. This is 99%. Okay, hold on. I'll say, think times have changed. I'll say 90% of the people who
rednecks.
use these types
or
of things
just like you said, dude bros.
is people who have dipped or
Yeah.
dip
Yeah.
or smoke or whatever.
Well, it's changing now because
what I'm saying.
kids are starting to do this shit.
Yeah.
I was catching kids doing Zens fucking 5 years ago when I was fucking coaching.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those were those kids. Would they have also dipped? Were
They
kinda little
would
redneck
have. They
kids?
probably. They might not have. Well, yes and no. Dude,
Probably.
dip there is a little bit scarier. One, the tobacco factor. Two, if you swallow your spit, you're gonna get sick.
Yeah.
The tobacco upset. I got to the point where I could gut it, and it still did not make
Should
me
not-
feel good.
Should not be doing that.
Yeah, it did not make me feel good.
It's not good, dude.
Probably caused an ulcer too, but you know, you get
Little
to a
stomach
point where
cancer,
you
no
just
big deal.
like. I get really bad about it now because I dipped this so much and I gut it. Man, I packed Copenhagen long cut probably like 3 months ago, and I shit you not, I had it in for probably about 2 hours, and I didn't spit one time. And
You're
I realized
fucking wild, man.
and I realized it. I was like, fuck. I was like, no wonder why my stomach feels like shit.
Well, that's got like fuck with your brain though, because these you can swallow,
Yeah.
and then like I mean, when I first started using these, I was still spitting in like a water bottle, and now I don't spit anymore. But yeah, it's like a weird. It fucks with my brain because I dipped,
Yeah.
so it's like I feel like I shouldn't swallow the
it.
spit. Yeah, so yeah.
It's weird.
Do you spit or
This
swallow?
is a fantastic invention, though. This was genius. The
Yeah.
fact that they could figure out, like, essentially how to make a vape for people who dip.
Snooze, dude.
It's great.
Snooze did it first.
They
Gotta
did,
give it to him.
but
Camel Snooze.
yeah, but I think they
That
still.
was way back, bro. That was back like when I was smoking like in high
Well,
school.
when I was packing those, I'd still spit them because I thought it was still tobacco.
No, it was the same. It was literally the same
nicotine?
thing. It was like powdered,
But it
whatever,
was, like, kinda
nicotine
dark.
salts or whatever.
But the pouches were dark.
I mean, all I know is that you could swallow it, and
Really?
then they started doing flavored shit.
I really
They
did
had like they were the first ones to have like a minty,
I really
like
did like
menthol,
those.
and like mango and wintergreen, and like
I'd get fucked up on those. I love those.
the snooze,
Yeah.
the camel
I used
snooze.
to-
You know what I'm talking about? The
Well,
little
that-
metal tins.
That was the last thing. Yeah, they swing open. Those were the last like non-Zen type shit that I was buying, or at least I thought so. Because like I said, I just thought it was tobacco, but those were like the last things I bought before I completely switched to nicotine salt.
Really?
And even then, when
Do
I
they,
went out,
they still make the camel snooze?
yeah, oh yeah.
fuck.
And even when I went out, I'd still dip. I wouldn't dip long cut, but I dip pouches.
Yeah.
Just because it was cooler.
Pouches were cooler.
Well, dipping tobacco was cooler than dipping this.
Really?
Yeah. People are like, what are you dipping? You show them Zen, they'll be like, oh, you're fucking.
what are you, pussy?
What are you trying to quit? You're trying to not get mouth cancer?
Yeah.
You're fucking queer.
Yeah, not in my circles, man. Every fucking body either smoked or dipped.
Well, the whole long cut versus pouches debate always cracked me up. I used to dip long cut like a lot, but the problem with long cut is when you're drinking a lot of beer,
You're swallowing it.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
swallowing dip.
Yeah.
You're swallowing straight up tobacco.
Yes.
So why wouldn't you just
Yes,
pouch?
you are.
And
And
if
then you
you're
have
gonna-
a higher risk of throwing the fuck up later.
Well, if you're gonna dip while at work, like with what we do, you have to meet with people and
Yeah, you don't wanna
meet
be
with
fucking
homeowners.
Big fat
Well,
wads
even
of
that,
brown
you don't want
spit.
that shit stuck in your teeth
Yeah.
when you're talking to somebody.
That's true too. I mean, in our world, maybe it would be a little bit more understandable. They'd be like,
Pouching-
"Look at this construction guy."
I don't
but-
care what anyone says. Pouches are better,
Yeah, I have
They're
never
better.
dipped a pouch ever.
and they don't rub your fucking your. They don't cut up your gums. It's way better.
I
It's
mean,
way better
that's what I
experience.
thought you wanted. So, from my experience, it was always like the old dudes
Yeah.
would dip like straight up snuff.
Yeah,
Like the fine
cut.
cut, fucking like just Copenhagen
shit's-
regular, like
it's
the
'cause they're
cardboard
idiots.
box, not
Yeah.
the plastic, but the cardboard
They're idiots.
snuff. It was fucking gross. I could never. I've dipped it a few times and it was fine, but I
never
was like,
packs.
fucking gross.
It falls apart. Does not pack well at all. Long cut is
Yeah, it's all over your mouth every time. It's these little pieces all over your mouth. Yeah, fucking hate it. Long cut was cool because you could actually like get a hog leg and like wad it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It would stay. And I liked the feeling of long cut. You know, just that big wad that they would pack in there.
What I noticed was,
and that was always younger guys that were always on the like Cope Wintergreen or Cope Straight.
Cope was a lot drier compared to Grizzly. So like Copenhagen tasted better, but it didn't last as long. If you packed Grizzly long cut, it was just slimy. You could pack it for fucking 4 hours.
Really?
Fine. Oh yeah.
I don't think I ever dipped Grizzly either.
Grizzly's
the cheap brand
Grizzly's
I went
good.
with was Stoker's.
Stoker's isn't bad, but
it was fine.
But it's like Copenhagen. It's very dry. It's not wet, slimy. Like I'd say Grizzly almost has a similar feel to it as like actual like long cut chewing tobacco. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Fucking, like, the Stokers always had, like, the long stems and shit in there. And I always used to like, you know, picking out the stem and just kind of sitting there chewing on one of the stems or something like that. That actually got me down a whole rabbit hole where I was legitimately chewing Levi Garrett for, like, months. God. I'm not kidding. I would get a pack probably every 3 days, 2 days. I'd get a pack of Levi Garrett. And I would just chew and, like, pack it back in my mouth, like my gum, you know what I mean? And then bring it out, chew it a little bit more, and then put it back in my gum.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
Dude, to right now, if you had some fucking Levi Garrett chew,
you'd smash.
I'd smash it up. Like, I'm not kidding. I fucking loved it. But it was so gross, so much spit. You know what I mean? It was just not, especially for what we do now, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I loved it, man. I just like take a big fucking wad.
It makes your mouth.
Put it in there.
Dude,
chew it.
I would do it.
Levi Garrett was delicious, too. They put like the molasses on the leaves and shit, and it was like really sweet.
Well, I would do it for baseball, and it was like 15 years old. I'm fucking, you know, chewing fucking. I was going up to North Carolina was so different than Florida when I moved up there as a kid. Oh, my God. Like, dude, you'd be in school, like, oh, can I go get a drink from the water fountain? And then there'd be like fucking there'd be pouches, there'd be fucking, you know, just whole dips, packs of fucking Copenhagen and Grizzly. Guys would just throw it right in the water fountain.
Yeah, whatever.
It was crazy. We're like Florida. It was like so taboo. Like nobody dipped during school in Florida, but like
really,
oh yeah,
that was not my experience. All the redneck kids dipped in class. And they all had they would all have a water bottle, like a spit bottle, and it was like
get addicted until I started working.
Yeah, I never dipped in. I mean, I dipped like a couple times in high school, but like
I was pretty
didn't
bad.
work out great. I didn't like it.
Bad during college. I
smoked though.
Dipped during class.
God, I loved smoking. Oh my God, I love smoking. And see, that was before vapes. That was like, you know what I mean? Like, you were definitely like your own class of people. Like, not everybody smoked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially like the athletic kids and stuff like that. But like, I fucking loved smoking, dude.
I love it. When it's cold outside, we've talked about this.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than a nice cigarette.
Fucking Marlboro, dude.
Camels. I like the Camels. Camels are good.
Marlboro Red 100 and a fucking whiskey drink, dude. I just can't even describe. And when it's cold out, like real cold, and you got like a thick jacket on, and there's like a fire, and you're outside, nice cigarette and a whiskey drink. Jesus, call it a night, buddy. Call it a night.
Yeah, I was pounding them the night before Thanksgiving. I went out. I probably smoked.
I heard about that. And you were like sick, weren't you?
Yeah, I wasn't feeling great. Well, I had a DD for my brother, and then there was a bunch of our friends that went. So I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go." So I went, and then we were going to CJ's, and I'm like, "All right, we're going to CJ's.
I'm drinking."
No. I was like, "You're buying me cigarettes because I need something."
And you were sick, coughing, and then you smoked cigarettes. You're fucking crazy, man.
I felt better. I swear I felt better.
And you would.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm that guy, dude.
You are that guy. You're him.
I don't know about that, but I get my ass constantly handed to me by life, but sometimes it works out. Then sometimes you get pneumonia and almost die.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if I almost died, but fucking
definitely weren't doing good,
bro.
dude.
That shit fucked me up.
Having a fever for 2 weeks is not.
Not good. It's not good. That's what I was like. I need to go. to the
think,
fucking
like,
ER.
after like 3 or 4 days, you like it can really, especially if it keeps getting worse, like you can literally die.
Yeah, it was low grade. I think it never went over like 101. Huh?
What do we die?
What do we? But yeah, it never like went over 101. But yeah, no, I was fucking. So the reason why we took so long to do this next podcast is for the last 3 fucking weeks, pretty much, or well, at least 2, because we were gonna wait the week.
Yeah.
And then by the next weekend, I was fucking dog sick, and
Oh, is it 70 degrees in here now?
I guess
Can I
so.
calm down.
That's crazy.
Fuck yeah.
But I was dog fucking sick, had pneumonia, the flu, and an ear infection all at the same time. And yo, the fucking ear infection, man, I still can't hear shit out of this ear. I think I might have to go back and be like, what the fuck, man? And I'm not paying for this visit. You told me it was going to get better. What the hell's going on? I still can't hear shit.
It's not good.
That's not good. I think I have permanent hearing damage, which
You
sucks
might.
because I already had hearing damage.
Oh yeah. My left
already
ear.
couldn't hear
My
shit.
left ear is fucked.
Yeah. That's my left ear. Yeah. The gay ear, right? No, the right ear is the gay ear. Do you remember ever hearing about that?
Yeah, I remember that. Was stupid.
It was important to me in high school when I got one ear pierced. I don't know why I did that.
I pointed that out to a kid when he was in like elementary school. It's like you only had
He
the
only
right
had
ear.
his
I was like,
right ear.
That's gay.
It's gay,
isn't
right?
it?
Yeah.
It was like you need to get the other one. He was like, it's not gay, dude.
It's gay.
That same kid told on me for talking about Mortal Kombat fatalities, dude. Back in 3rd grade. Fuck you.
Did he turn out to be gay? Do you still keep up with him?
No, I think he moved away. But
He's gay.
He's probably gay.
That dude is gay. That dude is currently taking and giving dick to
Pole
dudes.
smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yes. I can guarantee it. Man, I had a sense about that when I was young. Like, something not right about that kid.
You say that, but like I feel like it's usually pretty straightforward.
I had a feeling, bro. Especially about this one kid. I'll just name drop him because I have no idea what he's doing now. But Ryan Wood, and he held on.
Ryan Wood. Ryan likes wood.
Ryan fucking loved wood.
Ryan
dude.
sucks wood.
And he never came out all of high school. I remember being like, that dude is a fucking as queer as a $3 bill.
Yep.
No fucking way you're gonna tell me. And like everybody, oh dude, he's had girlfriends. He's had this. He's had that. Doesn't fucking matter. And a great example of that is a good childhood friend of mine. Now, I did not think he was gay. He flew under my radar for a long time, probably because he's my friend. But we were like very good friends when we were young, right? And he had girlfriends. Now, when we got into high school, we kind of like, you know,
Drifted.
like some friends you're like really good friends with when you're little. Then you get in high school, you kind of drift apart. You're still like friendly. It's not like a bad thing. You just
You'll
don't
say hi or
yeah,
something like
you're not
that.
like in the same circles anymore. You know what I mean? So that did happen in high school. And then when he got to college, he came out and was like, yeah, I'm gay. So I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm thinking like, I stayed the night at this kid's house like so many times. And we were little, you know what I mean? We were playing Halo and shit, you know what I'm saying? But like,
I had a buddy like that too,
I
man.
never suspected him to be gay.
And this
Never.
guy was like weirdly straight, like so straight that he bought like a fucking pocket pussy, and like,
And he was gay?
and he was gay.
Damn,
and then,
he
like,
tried. God
he
bless
wasn't
him,
even
though.
just like a normal pocket pussy owner. Like he followed the instructions.
That
put
is
it
gay.
in, put it in the microwave.
Super
Fucking
gay.
got that thing, nice and warm.
Dude, there's dudes that
It's
do
like-
that. There's dudes that are out there living their life
But
like
that's
that.
so grossly straight that I would say, like, it blew my mind. Like, not only is he
That he's
gay, he likes like older dudes. It's
So the
just
pocket
like,
pussy,
dude,
did this
what?
pocket pussy have like also an asshole?
Maybe it was just a dude's asshole, and we were all fooled, you know. But it's just wild. 'Cause it's like, really him? Like, he's like a manly sports playing dude.
That's so funny.
You're like, oh, really?
Yeah. Does something fly under your radar? But I'm telling you, that kid and the other kid, I'm not going to say his name because you know him very well.
Is he related?
Well,
to
you
me?
don't know him very
Is he
well.
related to me?
Close. Could have been. It was a close call.
What's his last name?
He could have been your brother-in-law.
Oh, yeah.
I went
Yeah.
through elementary school with that kid and always knew he was gay.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
He didn't come out until like
He's not.
I think high
he's
school.
not flamboyant, but he's definitely.
I knew in elementary school. I was like, that kid's gay. That dude is definitely gay.
It shocked the family.
there's no fucking way they were
did.
surprised.
It shocked
No
the
way.
family. It really did.
Dude, that kid has been gay since he was like fucking 8 years old. Holy shit.
Which,
that's
like, hey,
crazy.
there's nothing wrong with that. Like, whatever, dude. Do your thing. But, like, it is wild that it's just so obvious. I don't know.
I mean,
That's what makes me think it really is genetic. I don't think it's not a choice for these people.
Well, you know, we said we were going to get into this.
We are going to get
Let's
this.
get
We're
it out of
coming
the
after
way.
You gays. No, dude, that, like, I remember that was a huge
Is
debate.
it genetic?
Well, when I was a kid.
Like you could pass it on in genes?
I think it might be something that goes wrong.
I think so too.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to hear what your theory is about what
When I was like
happens.
12 or 13, like I feel like it was a pretty hot topic. They were trying to figure out
If you were gay?
No.
Oh. I got accused as a
on,
little
man.
boy.
Really?
Yeah, by my grandma.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything gay, but she was like, she told my mom, she's like, we just need to really keep an eye on him because his dad's not around. And a lot of young men who don't have their dad around, they end up being gay. And so my mom told me when I was older, and I was like, what the fuck, man? Gramps thought I was going to be gay? What the fuck? I wasn't like a flamboyant kid or anything like that.
I think you
but it was
proved
like,
that pretty raw.
Yeah. Check me out now, Gramps.
You beat that stereotype by quite a bit.
Yeah.
Fucking 5 kids.
Yeah. Hey, dude, there's a lot of gay dudes that started families and shit.
So, but it was like a huge thing where it was, you know, people were essentially saying that something happened to them as a kid. They were touched as a kid.
That was a thing.
Something happened to cause
some kind
this.
of traumatic experience or something.
With my experiences being around them, I don't, because like you said, there was kids that you just grew up with, man, and you just knew. Like this kid, something's
off. Yeah.
I don't want to sound mean because like I don't mind gay people. I don't care about gay people at all. Doesn't bother me. What can you do, man? Like if you're gay, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna,
I do. So like this is actually genuinely important.
You're gonna have terrible limp dick sex for the rest of your life.
From a Christian standpoint, all right, like legit, I think it's a terrible curse. Legitimately. Like if you were, let's say, like you grew up in the church, right, and you fought these feelings for a long time. You were saved, baptized, everything, but you still liked dudes.
All sins
You
are
are
the same,
you're essentially doomed to live a life by yourself.
All sins are the same, though.
Huh?
It's like anything else that you could do. It's like taking the Lord's name in vain.
No, homosexuality is a big one.
It's the same thing.
It's not.
All sins are the same, dude.
It's not. There's ones. It's the way it's talked about in the Bible is specifically they're burned in their lust. Like there's a lot of different quotes that put a distinction on the act of homosexuality. I'm just putting it out there. It is above other things. Now, taking the Lord's name in vain is a blasphemy.
It is.
And so is being
we
gay.
Constantly do it.
And the act of sodomy is a blasphemy. I don't know if just you existing as a gay person you're not a walking like you're not, you know what I mean? Like you're not a sin. You know what I mean? The act of sodomy is blasphemy, which blasphemy is a slap in the face to God.
What do you expect these people to do? You expect them to be celibate their whole life?
Unfortunately,
like I said, you want them to just have sex, find a woman who can, put up with terrible sex, and
a really, really ugly woman who kind of. I saw one the other day who could have passed as a dude when I was in the ER. This chick legit had like a 5 o'clock shadow and a mustache.
It might have been a dude.
She looked like a girl. I mean, I heard her talking, and she had like. She was kind of like overweight, so she had
tits.
Yeah. But like, I was like, yo, dude. It was, I had a double, triple take there for a second. Like when I heard her talking, because I was like, is that a dude in a fucking dress? And I'm not being mean. I just was like, is that a fat dude in a dress? Because she had like, and that's unfortunate. You're doomed. Hey, you know what though? Any chick is going to find dick. That's the reality, bro. If you're a big fucking, like, really ugly dude, you're more likely to live your life alone than a chick with a 5 o'clock shadow and a mustache.
Yeah. Someone's fucking that.
For real.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the sad reality, buddy. But
he might be gay.
Honestly, yeah. From a Christian standpoint, again, I'm just saying what I know.
Okay.
It's a complicated
Well,
situation.
I'm just gonna tell you that's very unrealistic. They're gonna
They're going to branch out. They're gonna want companionship.
I will take a good gay person over a fucking straight asshole douchebag any day of the week. I lived with a gay kid in college. It was actually one of my first roommates was a gay kid.
I don't mind like being around them or
He was
like
great.
whatever.
Talked
I
a
just
lot of football with me.
Played what?
He talked a lot of football with me. He was very big in football. He loved football.
I mean, and some of them will surprise you. I'm just saying, my stance on it is if you're going to ask me what I truly, truly believe, I think it sucks, man.
Well,
I do. I think it sucks because I don't think that you just wake up one day and you're like, you know what? I don't want pussy anymore. I'm going to be gay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really don't. Then again, there are weird situations like with all the Hollywood stuff. Are those dudes getting fucked by other big celebrities actually gay? Or are they making a choice to just let this dude fuck them to continue their career?
Maybe.
And that's like selling your soul to a certain extent.
It is selling your soul.
I mean,
that's as close as you can get to selling your soul.
It's
selling your butthole.
You're selling your hole.
Yeah, you're selling your hole. You're paying the troll toll.
You got to pay the troll's toll to get in this boy's hole.
Oh God, dude.
Sunny references keep them coming, dude.
Oh man. But no, man, I do not and maybe it's because I grew up in a time where it was so popular and became so normalized. Because like I feel like you guys missed that. Like
yeah, for sure.
I was at the very tail end of where it was still kind of acceptable to say like fag and gay, but like when I got to college, dude, that shit was. If you said that in front of some prime fucking college,
I'm honestly really glad that I went through.
You would not get laid because of your.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. If you
What?
went out to bars,
It was that strict,
and you were talking like in front of girls and be like, "Oh, that's fucking gay," they immediate turn off. They're like, "Oh,
he's homophobic.
This guy's a bigot."
Really?
Which, like, once again, I'm just going to elaborate.
That's gay.
Maybe this is the first one you're seeing. I don't know how the fuck you made it this far, if it is. When we say gay or fag, I'm not talking about gay people. I could not care less about gay people. I think most of the gay people I met have been great. I haven't had any problems with gay people, besides the one kid I called a faggot, which I didn't know he was gay at the time.
You had your suspicions.
I can understand the gay stuff. I can understand where gay guys kind of come from to the extent where they don't really have a choice. The trans thing is just mental illness.
I believe that, yeah.
There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. It's just mental illness.
But
you have a problem.
Okay, but like, let me break this down a little bit. So,
you already changed my mind on abortion. Are you going to make me hate gays now?
No, not hate gays at all. I'm breaking it down from just a totally neutral standpoint. Like, I gave my piece on the Christian standpoint of like, if you're going to live your life as a Christian, you have to try to remove things that add, right, like sin to your life. And so if you're going to be a practicing gay man and also Christian, I'm not saying you're going to go to hell. I don't know the rules on that, but it's rough.
I think there's exceptions.
It's rough. You can't go to like Satan worshiping ceremonies and sacrifice virgins and then also go to church on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I hate to equate the two, but it's close. And I'm not kidding. It's ritualistic. And what I mean by that is it is specifically something that God has laid out as you may as well worship another God. You may as well worship a false idol. You may as well, sacrifice virgins to Baal or, one of these satanic type of things.
Wait, here's my thing. Where does that affect you?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Not at all. I'm just saying it as like a matter of fact.
So like, you're more worried for them and their souls?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't
just
like
want to make this like
no,
clear.
yeah. I don't want all gays to die or anything like that. They're fine. They don't bother me at all. Some of the way the culture shifted bothers me because I don't feel like I should have to be a part of it.
Well, they get essentially worshipped. I mean,
yes, they do.
That's not.
They're
right.
heroes.
That's
because
not right either.
The whole thing, even just celebrating one's sexuality, that's like, okay, let's have a parade for all the different porn searches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what category are you into? I mean, seriously, it's like that. It's that it is that.
Yeah.
That's your sexual preference.
Yeah.
No one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
So why are we having a parade about it? Why are we having a whole month dedicated to it? It's crazy. It is. It's fucking crazy. And that I don't like. Do what you do. I don't want to celebrate it with you. That's fucking, to me, that's gross.
Yeah.
I don't care. But when you shove it in my face, you make me have an opinion.
And I don't think people understand that because they're like, oh, when we celebrate gays, it's celebrating the people. It's like, okay, but like, what makes those people gay? Butt sex. Okay, so you're celebrating butt sex.
The fact that you fuck other dudes in the butt.
Yeah.
Yes. It's weird.
Yeah.
If you really break it down to such a simple level like that, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, have a parade for people who just enjoy straight anal.
Yeah.
We love fucking in the butt, and we're having a parade about it. We love watching stepsister porn on Pornhub, and we're having a parade about it because that's
like
our sexuality.
It's their lust.
It's fucking weird.
It is weird.
Exactly. It's fucking weird.
I
At
think
a basic thing, it's weird.
I think celebrating it's strange. I think we should be able to coexist and not have any problems with even trans. Like, I'm not gonna beat up a fucking trans person if I see one. I'm not gonna berate them. I think it's. I'm gonna look at them and go, it's fucking weird.
Yeah,
that's fucking.
Oh
weird.
well, that actually brings me back to my point though, because you were gonna say it's mental illness, and it is. And so I'll tell you this then. This is the way I explained it to my daughter. Because now, as parents, you have to double down and explain to your kids and try to unbrainwash from the whole thing that they push in schools, where gays, if you're gay, you're a hero and you're automatically a victim. And to be a victim now is currency, it's value, right? If you're a victim of any kind, whether you're a marginalized minority or you're trans or you're whatever the fuck other alphabet shit, right?
Let's not go down the race hole again.
Yeah. Well, no, but I'm saying like anything that's just not cis normal white male or cis white.
I shouldn't say normal. That's racist to an extent.
Yeah, you did that, not me.
I did.
No, but okay. So all that aside, right? This is the way I explained it to her. It obviously is not the norm. It's obviously not the normal. And here's how you know that. How many gay animals are there? And I'm not talking about two boy dogs who just hump each other because they're bored. I'm talking about legitimately gay animals, because those two boy dogs that are humping each other, you put a girl dog that's in heat, those two dogs are not going to hump each other. They're going to hump the shit out of that other dog because it's instinctual. They don't think about it. The dog's not sitting there thinking about what their sexuality is. They just know, oh, that dog's in heat. I'm going to go fuck that because I have to procreate, right? So my point is, if it's not some kind of abnormality or the chemical imbalance in the brain, then why isn't everything gay? And why don't we cease to exist as a species? Why aren't animals choose to be gay? And again, you could say certain animals with higher intelligence levels, they say, oh, well, they bond with the same sex. No, they fucking don't. Not on a grand scale. Not anywhere near what we're doing right now as a human species. So, again, if it's not an abnormality in the brain,
it
right?
definitely is.
If it's not a chemical imbalance somewhere along the line, whether like you could say the abuse argument, that has been proven that a super high majority had something sexually traumatic happen to them when they were a kid. Yeah. Not all. So it doesn't throw a blanket over it and explain it, right? But it is high. It definitely is high enough to notice, right?
Yeah, it's high enough to start a whole debate on it.
High enough to have a debate about it. But regardless of whatever happened, right, it is not normal. Because if it were normal, we would cease to exist as a species.
I don't think it's normal, but I think it's natural. When you go back to any ancient culture, there was
in humans.
Relevant. Yeah, in humans.
Why is that?
Not in animals. It could be a lot of things. You
could say murder's natural.
We genetically mix and match so much. I mean, that really what it could be, what it comes down to. And our genes, I feel like, even go deeper than most animals,
For sure.
Like,
we have genetic, like, mental traits that we pass on.
We're also just so, well, I think animals do to an extent too, but like.
Not as in depth, though.
When you, and this work's going to get really racist. So when you break down, like, actual race, I mean, there's diseases that black people get that we don't.
That we can't get.
There's diseases that Asian people get. That same thing, other way around.
Is there? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought it was only black people with sickle cell.
There's all sorts of diseases that particularly affect certain races.
Interesting.
More
I did
than
not know
others.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, even heart disease. You're more prone to have heart disease as a regular white guy than
Really?
Oh yeah, there's a whole breakdown on this.
I thought diabetes and heart disease were way more prevalent in black people.
Well, no,
we're gonna have to break that down.
I'm not saying it's just white people. I'm saying when you look at it, I think it majorly affects white and black people. And that might be
in America.
Well, I think it's on a global scale is what they're doing this on, but it might be just America.
We got everybody beat on heart disease and diabetes.
Just look into
I'm
it.
hearing
Like it's very strange how the statistics work. And whether you like it or not, statistics are facts. That's the only way we can fucking document and prove
make sense of everything. Yeah,
make sense of shit. So, but we're still able to procreate with other races.
Yeah,
like there's certain species of dog or dog-like animals that are so close, and even cats. Like you can't breed a fucking house cat with a lion. Like even if you did get a sperm sample, like that's you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they're the same species.
Well, size difference,
but
I think.
Different. You know, whatever. I don't know the correct
I have a theory about house cats.
Scientific, theory on that. But we can. And there's such a mix and match of genetics now. I mean, just throughout time, all the different races commingling.
Yeah.
That, like, maybe something did go wrong. Like we also said, I feel like, passed down way more, mental characteristics, physical and health-related characteristics than most animals do.
Yeah.
Not to mention there's not different races of fucking animals.
To say the gay thing is not like a new thing at all is correct. I mean, even like the story Sodom and Gomorrah, right? That's Abraham's time. You're talking way back, bro. You're talking like the world population was probably a couple 100,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't maybe a few million, but like it was low. Like that was not very far away from Noah. Yeah. Right, which was again restarted, and there was other people that lived. That's a whole rabbit hole we'll get into on some other podcast. But I was a very long time ago, 5,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago. You know what I mean? So it's like it's been around. Like, dude, the gay shit has been around for a very, very long time, and there's not really a way to explain it. But like I said, my thoughts on it are just it's not normal. And normal in the sense of natural.
And I'm not.
I do mean natural. And why I mean that is, again, you cannot procreate.
But this is what I'm going to say.
Grant, is it really that much different? Is it really that much different? Your mind as a man should not be attracted to other men.
At this completely different.
Because you can't procreate with that.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter.
So
so naturally,
is there a huge difference?
So
hold on, you're not going to like this one. Is there a huge difference between you as a man being attracted to another man, knowing biologically you cannot procreate with that, than a child?
Listen.
Your brain automatically looks at a child and is not attracted. Even a girl child looks at a girl child and is automatically not attracted to it because you know that you can't, like in your core, you can't procreate. It doesn't have the features that you're attracted to.
Yeah.
It's a little girl. So, you know what I mean?
But this is
that's like a thing in our brains on purpose.
This is what I'm trying to explain, though. There's a difference between natural and normal and normality and natural and like what is supposed to be right. Okay. There, like a fucking deformity is natural. That naturally happened. It didn't, unless there was some sort of crazy cause. Like, I
mean, I hear what you're saying, but something went wrong.
Something went wrong, but it was still natural. If your genes are, if you have,
I hear what you're saying.
If you have a kid who has Down syndrome, okay, that happened naturally.
Yeah,
that didn't happen from fucking your wife taking fucking Advil, or something like that. It was something that was caused naturally, not chemically. Didn't have any sort of other, and that's what happens to a lot of these people. I mean, that's what's been happening. You could say one thing about, maybe it's microplastics, maybe it's something that's causing more gay people to be born now. And I would say, yes, that is unnatural.
You know what it is?
What?
It's the goddamn atrazine in the water making the fucking frogs gay.
But what I'm saying is, so like that wasn't a thing in ancient Greece.
What?
But you had guys fucking guys.
Oh, they loved it, and they fucked boys as well. Don't forget.
So that's what I'm saying is, it
was very integral in Greek society.
Here's the other thing I'm going to say.
To fuck a boy.
I think I do feel bad for pedophiles to an extent, because that is probably something that they, for some reason, are drawn to.
If they want to live a normal life, they are doomed to be lonely.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not going to be fun.
Same as a gay person.
I'm going to say something terrible. You probably shouldn't fucking live.
It's rough. Again, something went wrong.
Yeah.
That's my whole point. Something went wrong.
That's
somewhere there is a chemical imbalance that your brain is sending signals of attraction when you look at a child. That's not natural. That's not good.
That is natural.
It occurred naturally.
Yes.
But I'm saying in the realm of us as let's just pretend we're animals, as us as a species, and our main is to procreate and continue our species, you're fucked. Your brain did not develop normally.
But that's normal.
And it's
not natural. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do completely understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying in the natural sense of the order of life.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That is what it's still, no, because even then it still is natural. There's certain, well, seriously, think about it. There are certain species or whatever that die out over time for whatever reason. And you're obviously, if you're born gay and you were naturally, had some sort of issue that, like you said, chemical imbalance or whatever that happened naturally, guess what? That's the end of your bloodline. That's the end of your bloodline.
That's it. You're not going to procreate.
Yeah.
Again, when I say naturally, we're using like kind of different definitions.
But I'm trying to explain to you.
Yeah, it occurred
I agree
naturally.
with you.
It wasn't like a chemical shot or something. The mom smoked cigarettes and drank when they were pregnant. Right.
It's
like I understand what you're saying.
These words like
it's not like scientifically repeatable.
Yes.
Exactly. We don't understand it. So it's
something
just something that occurred.
It just happens.
What I mean by natural is just, like I said, the natural order of life, the natural order of events of continuing a species, that your brain chemicals sending you the signals of, as a man, you're attracted to the features of a woman.
That's the correct.
They don't look like us.
That's the correct natural.
Right.
Yes.
They have features on them that we're attracted to, and there's a reason.
Yeah.
We're attracted to breasts. We're attracted to the hips
childbearing hips.
and the butt because we know they can bear a child. Breasts because we know they can nurture our child. Long hair because it's different than ours, right? It's fair. It's considered, you know what I mean, like attractive to us. It's all of it. The softer, more feminine, weaker features that we feel protective over. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's what I mean by natural, is those are just naturally occurring things that happen in our brain without us even thinking about it, right? And that's the grand, vast majority of all of human civilization.
But like we just said, gay
so
people
why is
don't
there
just
some
decide someday that, hey, you know what, I'm just gonna be gay,
and I don't think that
it's something that naturally happened, and that, like you said, what do you want to call it, like evolution or whatever? No, survival of the fittest. Who was that? Galapagos? Who
adaptation.
Was it Galapagos? Or was it
the Galapagos Islands.
What
Darwin.
was his name? Darwin. Sorry, Darwin. Darwinism. Right.
Which is fucking stupid.
That's kind of how I see it. That's essentially what happens to gay people. They die out. They don't procreate. They die out.
They're still around, though.
They are still around. Things keep going wrong. And now more than ever.
So we know it's not a genetically passed on trait.
It's not passed on, but I think it is something that can happen naturally while the baby is being developed. That's what I'm trying to say. And we agree on that.
I would say
the way that you're saying it is you're talking about normalities versus naturalness. People are naturally gay.
Do you have like a gay relative or something?
No, I'm just
okay.
you gotta use like 100% like
clear terms. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's a very gray subject what we're talking about right now.
Oh yeah, it gets people fired up, man. It really does. And I know that my opinions aren't necessarily popular by any means, but I
don't disagree with you to an extent on a lot of what you're saying, minus the religious stuff. My thing is, man.
Unfortunately, that is true. You either believe it or you don't, and that sucks.
It's
the same exact thing, and that's why I say this is a tough conversation to have. It is, because you start with gay, you start with the chemical imbalance,
and then you start making,
excuses for that chemical imbalance.
Look at the Catholic Church,
right? And so there's only exactly.
Look at the Catholic
Why are there
Church.
so many gay priests? Why are there so many?
It's not.
Why are there
pedophile.
so many pedophile priests?
So
what is going on there?
Listen,
It's almost as if you can change a man's chemistry if you doom him to be alone without companionship.
I wasn't even talking about specifically the pedophile priests. I was talking about how they came out.
Fucking Catholics.
How they came out and essentially said, "Hey, gays are cool. We want gays in the Catholic Church.
We want to convert them."
You can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
You can't have a gay church. You can't have a church service where you're like, "Hey, it's okay to be gay, y'all. It's fine. You don't have to do nothing about it." I don't know why I went Southern preacher there, but you know what I mean? It's
that's what you immediately think of. Yeah.
But like you can't you can't condone any sin.
No.
You can't like stand at the pulpit and say, "Hey, listen, porn ain't cheating. It's fine." It is. Porn is adultery in your mind.
Yeah.
It's adultery. It is. And oh my God, how many fucking dudes look at porn? Whether they're solid, good dudes, love their wife, nothing's wrong in their marriage. How many dudes? That temptation is so fucking hard to withstand. It's so easy to obtain, right? It's not like going out and getting a whore. It's not like going to fucking get whacked off at the fucking Chinese massage parlor. It's right there in your pocket, man. You know what I mean? But again, to normalize it, well, everybody does it, is one thing. But to say it's okay and to say that it's good and that it's fine you can't do that.
From a religious standpoint, I don't think it's good. I don't think it's fine. But I really do think that God is more, and my interpretation of God is different. I don't believe everything that I've been preached to my entire life. I have my very own religion, essentially, the way that I look at it. And I really think at the end of the day, it comes down to, are you a good person? Do you have good intent in your soul? I don't think it's as black and white as they make it out to see it. And that's just my interpretation. And you know what? Call it fucking, fairyland or whatever. That's the way that I look at it. I don't think, even to an extent where, good Muslim people in the Middle East, if you never heard the fucking word of God, if you don't know anything about Christianity, why would you be doomed to eternal hell?
It's a rough one.
It's exactly what I'm saying.
It's a rough one.
At what point?
I had a really bad argument with one of my very close friends even about the subject of babies when they die.
Yeah.
If they die and they're not baptized, do they go to hell?
Go to hell. Yeah. Or purgatory. Is it purgatory?
Well, purgatory is a Catholic thing. Purgatory it's not real.
Apply to Christians. Well, as far as you know,
it's not real. So this is actually good.
You don't have to go down the history.
Just real quick though, the purgatory thing is funny. It is funny. They invented the idea of purgatory. Basically, is like a waiting room, right? So if you die and you're not right with God, according to the Catholic faith, you go to purgatory, and then your relatives can pay the church to get you out
into heaven. Yeah.
It's called penance. They don't necessarily do it anymore. Now penance is considered prayer. You pray to Mary, and Mary will intercede on your behalf to God and say, come on, he was a good guy, and his family loves him. Get him out of purgatory. And that is just absolute fucking hogwash. It is the silliest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
And I love busting those things wide open because it is silly. And again, it was a way for the church to make money. The Catholic Church, to tell you that you could buy your relative's soul out of hell.
Yeah, I don't have much good things to say about the Catholic Church other than
I'm ready for a new crusade, dude. You know what I mean?
Essentially kept us from becoming extinct during like the plague times. That was
pretty much
it. Well, they wrote the history on that, so maybe they did.
Exactly. Who the fuck knows?
But
they probably were one of the main proprietors of it. It's probably half their ships that had the rats and fleas and shit on it.
Regardless, right? Now I'm kind of getting off topic because I kind of already forgot what we were talking about.
Gays.
Yeah, fucking gays.
Chemical imbalance in the brain.
That's what I believe, though, is if you're a good person with good intent in your soul, you're not, out there murdering people, treating people like shit, helping out when you can, where you can, and just being a decent person. I think that's really all it would take. If there is a, true and fear higher being, which I personally, I do believe. I do believe in God. I just don't see a God existing and all this red tape and gray areas. Like I just said, If you're
Lots of gray areas.
If you're someone, in the Middle
Well,
East,
yes and no.
and you've never heard,
It is essentially black and
You've
white.
never even heard of Christianity. How is that supposed to get held against you? How is that if you're a baby and you fucking die and you don't even have your brain developed to the point?
Yeah,
where
I
you
don't
can
think
even, it's like then why would a
there's
God send you to hell?
multiple scriptures that talk about Jesus in heaven being surrounded by children.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that's a thing. I think there is, like, the Catholics even have like a term that they call the age of innocence, and they say it's 7, which what if the kid's retarded? It's not 7.
Yeah.
He's essentially a
He's
2-year-old
7
when
for
he's
the rest of
7.
his life.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't think there's an exact age. I think there is a point in everybody's life where they reach that level of maturity that they can understand the depth of life and death and God and right, you know what I'm saying?
Higher power.
And that's different for everybody.
Yeah.
But I don't think I don't know, but I don't think that there's babies in hell. I'm with you on that. I just can't fathom that that's a thing, that it's that black and white of, well, you didn't live long enough to get baptized, so you're going to eternal damnation.
Well, that's the way I look at it. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me that there's good Christian gays out there who there's nothing they can do about it. There really isn't, Alston. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know the rules. I'm telling you,
like, if you're a straight man, like, Christianity is great and it's easy and it's not a big deal. And if you fuck up and you I'm saying,
I know what you mean, though.
From that perspective,
compared
to that,
you don't have that temptation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's straightforward. But if you're gay, like, dude,
What do you do?
No one is going through it. The priests aren't. We just talked about the priests aren't celibate. The priests are fucking little kids.
Well, there's a whole.
I know.
It's a lot to unpack. We'll have a whole. I would love to have like a whole like religious.
I'm saying, and we can
thing.
do that. I
There's
love,
so much
I love
there.
talking about religion.
Yeah.
I feel like we're halfway there. I mean, I was like literally about to talk about how I have strayed and came back, essentially to Christianity, but even then, like, it just doesn't make sense to me that you're telling me that there's good people with good souls that have, one flaw, one thing.
I'll say this without going too deep into the rabbit hole. It's not the flaw. You're right. Being gay, practicing sodomy, that's not the one thing that's going to send you to hell.
Yeah.
But that one is a weird area because, again, it's like, boy, I really can't compare it to anything else right now. But I'll say this. The black and whiteness of Christianity is Jesus.
Yeah.
That's it. You either believe in Jesus, you believe in what was said and what was told. He lived, he died, he rose from the dead. That one's hard to swallow.
Yeah.
That one's hard to swallow. You believe that he was God. He is the almighty creator God incarnated into man, right? Which is part of the Trinity, the Holy Ghost, the Father, who is the creator, God, who we talk about,
Son.
and the Son being Jesus, but all being God.
Yep.
Right? You believe that. You confess with your mouth that you're a sinner, and you confess with your mouth that you believe in Jesus and that you want the Holy Spirit a part of you, right? That is being baptized. That is being saved.
Yeah.
Being dunked in water is a tradition. Jesus did it. A lot of Christians do it as like a testimony or a sign or like a physical act. You know what I mean?
I need to look into that because I want to get
But
baptized.
yeah, and I totally recommend it. But I don't like, for instance, the guy on the cross right next to Jesus was not dunked in water, was not baptized. He simply looked at him and said, I believe you. I believe you. I believe you are the Son of God. You know what I mean? And he said, today you'll be with me in paradise. He was saved right then and there because he believed. So it really is that black and white simple. You either believe in Jesus or you don't.
But that's my thing. If
Now, a Muslim who's never heard the name of Jesus, I find that hard to believe.
That's different.
Right? I've always thought, well, what about these dudes like in like remote islands who have never heard of Christianity?
Uncontacted tribes.
I don't know. I don't know if there's a gray area for them as far as like in their innocence.
I'm saying
they've never known. What about the Native Americans?
Yeah.
They were like so close.
Yeah.
Like they knew that there was a God. They knew that there was like
something.
a creator and the big spirit is what they called it. The big spirit, the creator.
Yep.
Like they knew. So were they worshiping God like in their innocence of like We know that there's a God. We just don't know what to call it. We know that something is above us. Something created all of this.
Yeah.
We just don't know what to call it, right? I don't know. And that is a gray area because I don't know if they, in their innocence, are like allowed to bypass.
But that's what I do believe that is essentially a, kind of like a give me, those people that were like that were uncontacted, that, no one came to them with this, like on a mission trip or whatever. Like,
right.
No traveling preacher came to them and said, hey, I want to talk to you about, your Lord and Savior and explain things to them. And even then, if you grew up in those areas, like, over here right now, we think, Christianity's the shit. Not really as much anymore as,
We're still the most Christian nation.
We are.
Not by much, but we've still got that title.
What if we're wrong? What if, hypothetically, we live in a world where, or a universe where, God, I don't even know.
Like if you die, that's it?
Technically, God is Allah. Allah means God, whatever. But their religion is right?
Fuck.
And they come over here and they start preaching the good word of Allah. Well, then,
Well, how would they do that?
You're going to tell them to go fuck themselves.
I wouldn't have the chance to.
Sword and fire,
cut
baby.
my fucking head off.
Sword and fire.
Well, that to me is again a big thing. I mean, Buddha died and stayed dead. Buddha said he seek the truth. That was his final words. That was his big message. He died and stayed dead. Muhammad was a prophet. Muhammad was attacked by a spirit for 2 to 3 weeks straight and forced to write the Quran under fear and duress. Does that sound like God?
No.
Of course not. So again, by blood and fire, by sword and fire, convert or fucking die.
Yeah.
Again, is that a religion of love? And
no,
it's not. And then what are the
Muslims.
The other major one again with the Jews? They're still waiting. For the Messiah. That's the only one I could see. But again, even at that, like most religious Jews aren't even that religious. They don't even they definitely went way left, dude. Like after the whole Jesus thing, shit did not go well for Jews. Like for a very long time, they were kicked out of almost every country they went to. They continuously only made things about money. They didn't. Again, that was not how did Jesus react to money? The money changers on the steps of the temple, he overturned. It was the only time you could consider violent. He literally kicked and smashed and broke all that shit. It was like, what are you doing? It's not about money. It was him that said the root of all evil is money.
Yep.
The root of all evil is money. That was Jesus that said that. So again, to make their main stance about money, and I know that's like a cliche that like people, Jews only like money, only care about money. No, it's a cultural thing. It is. It absolutely is. They honor money above most things, right? And even the Talmud, we could get into that. The Talmud is fucking crazy. It is the first explanation. It is the first ancient writing of why it's okay to fuck a little boy over fucking a little girl and consider yourself still to be a straight man. It is the first actual somebody wrote it down and gave an explanation. And it simply is that, well, if you were to fuck another woman, that's adultery, you're cheating on your wife. If you were to fuck a little girl, you break her hymen, she's unmarriable. So you fuck a little boy because it's not gay because he's not a man, right? And it won't essentially break his hymen or hurt him, even though, of course, it would fucking hurt him, like, emotionally for the rest of his fucking life will be fucked. You know what I mean? But it was the first explanation. The Greeks, their explanation to why they fucked boys was, first of all, they didn't have a God who told them that that was wrong or bad, so they just did whatever they felt like doing, number one. Number two, there was a specific, like, apprenticee kind of like journeyman apprentice like type of like what they essentially thought is that I'm fucking this boy, I'm giving him like my essence, like he's not my child, but I'm gonna make him almost a clone of me by like doing this and dominating him in this way and downloading every one of my thoughts into his brain, essentially creating a copy of myself. That was genuinely
You've done a lot of research on that.
well, you know, it's very interesting to me why always little boys. Again, pedophilia has been around forever, right? But like why it's always ritualistic. There's always an explanation or a ritual when it comes to a man fucking a little boy. And it's satanic. It's 100%.
It is, absolutely.
Again, blasphemy, slapping the face to God. It's the one thing that you can do to a boy that is guaranteed to fuck him up for the rest of his life.
But here's the thing. That I feel like the mental side of that has really shown recently. I don't think they thought of it like that back then. I thought, hey, you know, I went through this, kid will be fine.
Right.
That fucks you up, dude.
Yeah.
That fucks you up. That is the worst thing you can do to somebody. That's why I have a firm stance on this. Dead. No questions asked. Dead. You should be dead.
I agree. Dead. It should be honestly, a much harsher penalty.
Maybe you should be tortured to death.
Because you just potentially took any potential for that kid to live, that person who's going to grow to become an adult, to be a normal person.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, they end up doing it.
So that's
they're so fucked up. They continue the cycle of fucking more kids up.
I just talked about this earlier when I was saying I almost feel sorry for them to an extent. There was a guy on Joe Rogan. I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but he loved doing mountain climbing, and he was assaulted as a kid. And when he first learned that, like, you know, it's likely that he would probably end up doing that to somebody. I mean, statistically speaking, like you said, I don't know if it's 9 times out of 10, but it's highly likely. It's a high probability that if you were touched as a child, you will pass that on to somebody else, as far as doing it to them. He literally said, he's like, what if I start having any temptations like that, I'm just going to go for a fucking climb and I'm just going to jump off and I'm just going to fucking kill myself, because I would never do that to somebody else.
Yeah. God, what the fuck, man?
It's terrible.
Yeah.
And that's why, like I said, it's to some extent, I for the ones where it happened to them, I do feel bad for them.
Oh, for sure.
It's like
you're saying the ones where it happened to them and now they're
I do feel bad for
have
them
the
to an
same
extent, because it's like you got fucked, dude. That's terrible. But at the same time, you got to
check yourself, man.
Just check yourself. Like that guy said, he's like, I would
have the empathy to not want to continue that cycle.
I'd rather, even than try to face the temptations, I'd rather just kill myself. I'd rather just kill myself than ever do that to somebody else. And there's honor in that. I respect that.
I can't even imagine that's.
What do you mean? Like
just like that? Living with that,
it really makes me like sick.
Yeah, well, like not doing it, but like living with like knowing that you're like attracted to that, and like you're this
that
like
itself.
Oh my God, I hope I don't.
Makes me sick.
Yeah,
like, that's not easy.
Fuck, dude,
but like I said,
that's a heavy thing, because it's so true and it's so unexplainable. Like there's no way to like stop it unless that person actually like comes out and is like honest about it, and then maybe does like therapy or something. But even still,
fuck therapy.
Buddy, I think
chemical castration. That's the only solution.
Balance in the brain is like you're stuck with it. Again, what makes a serial killer a serial killer?
Same thing. Chemical balance in the brain.
Exactly. What kind of like breakdown? What went different in their brain than 99% of the rest of the population who lives without a single inkling to ever just murder a random innocent person?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, of course, all of us have anger and are like, "Oh, that fucking guy! I wish I could kill him." You know, you don't mean it. You're fine in 5 minutes, but like to literally like lust for the idea of like, I want to take an innocent person's life and watch them fear and die. Like, yo, how do you square that away? How do you figure out where the fuck that came from? And again, there's a huge correlation with serial killers, murders like that, and some kind of childhood trauma or abuse. A huge correlation. So again, from what we know, a lot of this stuff starts at childhood, not necessarily birth.
Well, like they always say, dude, when you're a child, that's your brain's developing, and that's the most information you're going to grasp in your life. And that's the most information that's going to stick with you for the rest of your life. So when you have something traumatic like that happen, whether you remember it or not, it's something that happened to you. Your brain does remember it. It might repress it, But
See,
your
that's
brain
scary
knows.
too. How do any of us know that we haven't been diddled?
You could have been, and you just have no idea.
Your brain just blocks it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't grow up Catholic.
Yo, dude. Yeah, exactly. If you were fucking Catholic, I don't know, buddy. Yeah. Fucking. Again, I don't know, man. You know what? Like, we'll save that because that actually is really interesting, and I want to break that down. I would actually love to break that down with a particular guest as well because I'm curious what their opinion on some of that would be. No, I want Chris Patton on here real bad.
Really?
Oh yeah, I want. Chris
Well,
Patton
he is Catholic.
Not even so much that he's Catholic. I'd probably leave him alone about the Catholic thing because I don't think he's not like practicing Catholic. He was like raised Catholic, which is like you have no control or like any thoughts about that. And really, like, I'm very hard on the Catholic Church as an institution, but like I do understand where Catholics are coming from, and it sucks. Like I see how they get dug in, and especially when somebody tells you you're wrong, and this has just always been your whole life. You're like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? Like, again, if a Muslim came to me and was like, you're wrong. You're wrong about Jesus. I'd be like, okay, fucking kick rocks, dude. Get out of my face. You know what I mean? I would never even, like, begin to listen to him.
Yeah.
I would know in my heart, no fucking way. So, like, I do get it. It just sucks. The Catholic thing is, you know, again, we'll go into it. There's some decent things that they did. They did some all right stuff. I don't believe every Catholic ever existed as evil by any means.
No.
By any means.
No.
But I do think as an institution, it's
you know,
almost always been evil.
It's like the shtick with Jews. You know, I don't think all Jewish people are bad by any means at all whatsoever. You know?
Yeah, that one's rough too.
There's definitely some seedy things that some people do that gives people a bad name, bad rep, you know?
Where we're at nowadays, you know, I hear people try to like twist the scriptures. I do think the Jews are the chosen people that the Bible talks about because they've been with God since the beginning. You know what I mean? It's always been Jews. But like,
It's crazy though how
I don't think they're living in favor of God.
Yeah, but
right?
I'm not
like
even just
they're
talking
not like
about,
right with him.
I'm
right
not even
now.
just talking about like big corporation-esque.
What time are we
television.
at, by the way?
Oh, we're right at the sweet spot. So we probably need to be done here in the next 10 minutes.
Okay.
But where I was going as far as like, you know, just the shit going on in Israel and Palestine, people hating on, you know, Jewish people, it's not really necessary. The American Jews, there's nothing they can do about it. You know? What do you want them to do?
I mean, I don't know. The whole thing. The whole thing is weird. I know to like get into like the Jewish thing too, like right at the end, because I have some fucking theories.
Well, we can talk about.
I got some fucking opinions.
We can always talk about this.
Bring it up, dude. We got lots to go.
Where I was going with it is, it's just wild to see, especially coming from the accepting and just kind-hearted left, side of
how fucking anti-Semitic they became like overnight.
So quick. They're so quick. Anti-Semitic, they're anti-Hispanic now because the election.
Oh yeah, they turned on them too.
Anti-men. It's wild. It's wild how
hope he
fast.
deports you and your whole family.
But like I'm saying, how can you be anti-Semitic towards all Jewish people over what people in Israel? You know what I'm saying? It's like
it's crazy. It is crazy. Ukraine's
like majority Catholic. Like, are people gonna get mad at Ukraine? Like, are you gonna hate on fucking Catholicism because they're fighting Russia? Like, none of it makes sense to me. Well, you just don't like Catholicism. I don't either. Catholics, well, not Catholicism, obviously, because Christianity is lumped into that. But Catholics specifically, I'm not a huge fan of.
All of Catholicism is an evil lie.
Anyways, you get what I'm saying.
I'm hard on it.
I know, but you get what I'm saying. It doesn't.
100%.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's
people.
I guess you could say it is comparable to see like the rap we get as Christians to fucking Christians, don't you guys fuck kids? Hold on, dude.
Catholics.
That's a fucking Catholics. Don't lump me into that. But they do. They lump Catholics and Christians into Christianity, and they're not. You walk up to a practicing Catholic, go to a Catholic church, wait for one of them to come out, and be like, "Hey, are you Christian?" They're gonna correct you and say, "Well, I'm Catholic."
Yeah,
they're not.
They're different.
They're not. Different. And if they do say they're Christian, then they're not that Catholic.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They're just kind of there. You know,
They're
not paying much attention.
They grew up going to a Catholic church or something like that.
Yeah, they're not. But yeah, again, a practicing hardcore Catholic is not going to tell you he's Christian. He's going to tell you he's Catholic, and they are different. And I think that's important as we move forward, as things continue to develop, that we make that distinction. Because I'm telling you right now, if there was a false prophet, if there was any kind of church that's going to be around in the end times, it's going to be the Catholics. 100%. They don't follow the truth, so they're not a threat.
Yeah.
I mean, really think about that. They don't follow the truth. They're not a threat. I mean, think of what they just did the other day. What did he say about, all religions are a path to God.
Yeah.
It's all going to get you to heaven.
That's what I'm saying. Like, them coming out with all
that
this shit.
was fucking a week ago he said that.
It's
bonkers.
They're chameleons. They're just chameleons.
Yeah.
They're just blending in. They're just trying to keep up and stay relevant. And it's sickening.
Are you insinuating they're lizard people?
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
they're fucking lizard people. Dude, but it's just sickening. To be that much of a sellout, because at that point, you're not talking about money. You're talking about soul. Your soul. Your soul.
You're not making more money. Yeah, you're literally selling
and
people's souls out.
And you're speaking for,
it's crazy, bro. Millions.
What would you say? I would
people.
even say possibly billions. There's
Probably.
a lot of Catholics.
Yeah.
And like
I'd
you
say
said,
a solid billion.
We get lumped in with Catholics. So therefore, you're really speaking pretty much on the whole behalf of Christianity
and they know that.
And Catholicism.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just stupid.
They know the world views Christianity and Catholicism as the same thing. And it's not.
Even like the main Methodist church or whatever came forward and saying that they're being more accepting towards gays. And a lot of Methodist churches left that organization.
Yep. The one right in downtown Punta Gorda, the brick church, they're not Methodist anymore.
You can't do that shit, bro. You can't change it. It's done. It's set in stone. Literally, it's set in stone. You can't change it.
Yeah.
You can't change it. Your religion cannot change with the times. That's not how it works.
It's not how it works. And to be more relevant, to try to be more relevant, to get more people to come to your church, you're lying.
That means you want
You're
money.
misleading people.
That means you want money too.
Yeah, buddy. That's a big one, dude.
Yeah.
You do not want to be the guy that's in charge or considered like a teacher and misleads people for your own profit.
Yeah.
There's a special circle in hell, dude. And I don't get into that whole Dante's Inferno thing either because, again, more Catholic writing. But in the Book of Enoch, there is depictions of different areas or sections of hell.
Yeah.
And some are worse than others.
Oh,
and that's one of the
worst.
That's one of the bad ones, dude.
Certain
you're in there with the chomos and fucking Hitler himself. Like, yo. One thing I did love, this is totally off the wall random, but do you remember the movie Little Nicky?
Yeah.
How they showed Hitler getting a pineapple shoved up his ass
grabs
every
a real
day.
small one.
Yeah, he's like,
nope.
Yeah.
Nah, get the big one.
I fucking loved that. But, yeah, we got to talk about him too. I'm going to break him down. Yeah, I'm going to do some more. I've been doing some research on him.
He was right.
No, but he was a fascinating guy. He was a fascinating guy, and that's not. I don't say that with like reverence or anything, but like, there was something different there, man.
Terrible human being, but this guy got a whole country to just get on board with fucking killing everybody. So, there is definitely some...
It's another thing I want to talk about.
There's some interesting, I don't want to call it lore, but, like, there's definitely some interesting information.
Yeah, for sure. His life, his whole path to this was, like, kind of all just fell into it. Yeah. Like a big accident. And then became this huge figure. And, really, if you look at the scale of what he did and how far he got...
Yeah.
Like how much effort it took the world to stop him. It's pretty fucking amazing. It's pretty crazy. Like, and when I say amazing, I just mean like in scale of like how much he was able to do and accomplish and get a whole country behind him and moving and industrious power.
And not just
it's like what the fuck?
Like
guy kind of came out of left field.
People
the
try
country
to
was
compare,
dead fucking broke 20 years.
But people try to compare him to Trump. You're fucking idiot.
No, stop it.
Maybe similar in a sense where, he had people that were against him, was trying to get in prison, shit like that, whatever. Like that's, I feel like any politician that's worth
you could point that out with anything,
a lot of people.
You could draw dots.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Try harder.
Yeah.
But like, unanimously.
Perfect.
Unanimously.
I fucked up a word earlier. It's okay.
Country, like they were all on board with that shit. And if they weren't, they stayed real fucking quiet about it.
Yeah, they stayed quiet about it because it was the norm. Yeah.
So, no, it is.
I mean, it was
wild.
It's an intoxicating message.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main point that they try to like draw between him and Trump,
dude,
is the make America great again. And that
yeah.
was essentially Hitler's speech was make Germany great again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, he didn't actually say those words, but that was the message of like, look at what we used to be. And then we let the whole world tell us we were fucking wrong.
Dude.
And now we're dead fucking broke. And then the Weimar government, which was almost exclusively Jewish leadership. It's part of it. It's not talked about, and it's part of it. It's easier to understand.
We're not going to go completely into this.
It's not, but it's. You're right. I'm just saying it's easier to understand when you understand the full history.
I just wanted to say,
because you guys don't know the full history.
To my 7th grade history teacher, Mrs. Sloan.
Mrs. Sloan.
Because like she literally, that's how like she opened up with like teaching us about the Holocaust. She's like, listen, this shit was fucking terrible. This is like the worst thing to ever probably fucking happen like throughout time, which we don't know that. There was probably way worse shit that did happen. I'm just saying. So, but she literally said like, if there's anything you need to learn here, like, or like really pay attention to, is like one man got this entire country on board with killing millions of innocent people. And like, that's the main thing you need to fucking focus on, because that's the main takeaway from history. Is
if you don't understand it, you're doomed to repeat it. Yeah.
So like, she made it very clear, like, pay attention to what happened to this guy, how he took over this fucking country, and don't let it fucking happen again, essentially is what she was saying.
Which is why we got to get these, like we talked about last episodes, why we got to get these white liberal women out of power. Because no one hates history more than a white liberal woman.
Whoa.
You know?
Yeah.
Or just white women in general. They fucking hate it. Yeah. It's like...
They don't care.
They
just don't
can't stand it. And it is odd because it's like, there's so much truth to that. You don't understand your history. If you don't understand the mistakes you've already made, how the hell are you not going to make them again? Yeah, it's like, look at your own lifetime. Did you do something really fucking stupid and then say to yourself, fuck that, I'm not doing that again? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the world's memory.
Yeah.
You know, of, boy, that was fucking crazy. Let's not do that again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you just like try to erase that or try to whitewash it, you're not gonna grasp the message that she's right. One dude convinced an entire country that an entire race of people was the problem, was the enemy.
And got
you know what
them,
I mean?
yeah.
And got everybody on board.
Didn't just kick them out of the country, just killed them. Yeah.
I think again, we're going to go into it. We're going to go into depth because the original plan was to get them out of the country. And it was simply that. And some shit went really, really wrong.
Really fast.
Really fast. And it's almost actually unfathomable how efficient they were getting to that number.
Yeah.
The magical 6 million number. Because that only took them about 2 years.
Yeah.
And that's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of...
Well, like you said...
Because the gas chambers
they were efficient.
Is not even really officially proven. We're just going to put that out there. It is up for debate. We will say that they did. But what you can't argue is that they only did that for maybe the last 6 months. You know what I mean? And that definitely upped production numbers. But...
Are you questioning? Don't do this right now.
I'm not. We're alluding to the next episode about what will be talked about.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying 6 million's a little tough. It's a tough number to wrap your head around if you really think about the scale that would have taken. How many people total died in World War II?
It was like 40-something, 50-something.
Was it that many?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, 20 million died. They consider the 20 million Russians that died starvation, like everything, not like in the war died. It was like, what was it, at least 20
the
million?
whole of the whole country.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah. I mean, the numbers are skewed.
I think it was like literally like at that time, I think it was like 1/5 of Russia essentially died.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
And they didn't give a fuck.
No.
But we'll go into depth. Maybe not even the next episode. Whatever. I want to do some research about it, but definitely like that's interesting to me to have different types. I mean, like this one was definitely more like serious. Do like a more lighthearted one.
Yeah.
Get a guest in here. I definitely want a guest, and I think we're gonna need a bigger table or a bigger couch.
We could fit somebody in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be. Yeah, it would work out if we like slid to the side a little bit more. You know. Yeah. It would work.
Maybe between us. Yeah, I don't think that'd be bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We get the comfy chairs, though.
This was good. This was nice. My main takeaway from this, I just cannot stress how important it is, gun ownership. Not even just for, the end of world shit that we were talking about.
Just protecting yourself and your family.
Well, yeah.
You never know what kind of situation you're going to end up in.
I think everybody, if you're mentally capable and if the only thing holding you back is you're just being a pussy and like, oh, I don't really know. Dude, just fucking buy one. It's not that big of a deal. You get it. You keep it in your fucking closet or whatever you do. If you have kids, get a safe. Keep that shit away from them. Please, for the love of God, be a responsible gun owner. But fucking go out and figure it out, dude. Go train. We're talking about training. We need to go do that.
Yeah.
I haven't shot in fucking years. Like, actually.
It's been at least
just
a year.
so expensive.
Yeah. Yeah, things have been crazy.
But it's something you can't compromise. You have to be able to defend your life, no matter what the situation is. Defend your loved ones. It's so important. Just please go if you're capable and you're mentally fit. Like I said, I can't stress that enough. If you're fucking
if you're mentally fit,
don't buy a fucking gun.
If you're sitting around daydreaming about, killing innocent people, maybe don't get a gun.
Don't buy a gun. But if you're a normal functioning human being, buy a fucking gun.
That's
buy a
smart.
handgun, whatever you want. Just
It's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Handgun.
Or shotgun.
I say a rifle. Yeah, I say everybody should just, if there's one gun you can own that does it all, get a rifle. You can hunt with it. You can protect your family with it. You can protect your liberty with it.
You can buy a fucking Palmetto State right now. They're on sale for like $420
for the upper lower kit.
No, that's for like a regular fucking
actually just
nitrated
built?
barrel AR-15 4140 4150 chrome moly vanadium fucking barrel, like good shit.
That's the cheapest it's been in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like go buy one.
Yeah, you
Like,
just buy one. And then you slowly add to it.
Yeah.
First things first, the first thing you add to it, get yourself an optic, whether that be iron sights,
do irons.
Or
I wish I did more practicing with irons. It's one thing I want to get more efficient with. I also want to actually use my Trigicon that's been sitting on my rifle for a year and I haven't shot with it yet.
That is 4 times.
Yep. But yeah, get out there, go shoot, go learn how to operate a gun, buy a fucking, thing of MREs like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Be prepared, man.
Yeah, stock up.
Worst case scenario, you just end up eating them in a fucking hurricane with your power out.
Yeah, true. It's great for that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking exactly. 25-year shelf life. I mean, they'll be around for a while.
Yeah. Palmetto State, please.
In the bin in the garage.
Please sponsor us. I know we have some weird stands, but I would.
That would be sick. What would they just send us guns?
Yeah,
once
send me a gun. We'll show it on
Do
the,
like
the
a review?
podcast, and we'll go shoot and do a review. Dude. That'd be fucking.
That'd be sick. Yeah, I wish, man. I think our only sponsor for now is old Cincinnati Gyms Ball Starch, which
Cincinnati Gyms
we
Ball
actually
Starch.
have to do a read for that next week.
We
or
do.
Well, next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got some other ones too that we're gonna get.
We got some other ones down the pipeline, but that for sure is our solid first sponsor.
Yeah, you guys are really gonna like our sponsors. It'll definitely have a lot to do with our people who watch this.
And who knows? Maybe next episode we'll have a guest. I think I want to try and make that work. Whoever.
Get
I don't
somebody.
care.
Yeah,
Get anyone.
Oh fuck! My buddies are coming to town, and they said they would like to do one.
That'd be awesome. Let's do it.
Guy, we might have to be careful with his name.
Like, you're not going to say his name right now?
I don't want to say anybody's name because he's
Okay.
like, I want to do it, but at the same
He wants
time,
to be anonymous.
Well, he's in a position where, and it'll come up on the podcast if we do one with him. He is a med student and very liberal. I mean, dude,
The school, like,
we
he
were very
goes to is
serious
very
this
liberal.
episode, but like, we fucked around last episode, said some slurs. We talked about racial slurs. Not we. I talked about racial slurs and said a couple of them.
Fuck it,
so
I'm
we
just
gotta
gonna
be
say
careful.
it.
Which, once again, throw this out here, did not mean offense to anybody. Just thought it was something fun to talk about because you got to talk about shit. Jesus Christ.
Exactly. That's my thing,
Like-
dude. There shouldn't be anything that's like too taboo to not
That you
talk
just-
about.
yeah.
We have the First Amendment. I'm damn proud of it. I'm not going to
It's not
fucking
like
let anybody
I
back me
had
down.
An Asian man or a fucking Hispanic dude in here, and I was calling him, either one of those words. I was just saying it out loud.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Some people, it doesn't.
No,
It'll
it
never matter, so just let them,
Yeah.
the real ones know.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a good one, man. What did we hit, just so I know?
Oh, it's probably like 2.5 hours. Yeah.
I forgot what you said is 2.5.
I think it was
That's
2.5.
solid.
I think it
Solid.
was just shy just shy of 3, maybe even 240. But who cares?
Don't
That's
care at all.
Less than
It's a good
4.
one. Yeah. 4 is
a
not.
lot.
Yeah, we can't do that again. But anyway, is this it?
Yeah, this is it.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, guys. Like,
See you
comment,
next time.
subscribe, and we'll hopefully see you in another week or 2.
Deuces.
Deuces.